Come on, bro.
We're
Let's
live.
Go. Come on, man. Let's
We're
go.
officially live. And the chat and everyone in the panel can hear me. Guys, tonight we got an episode of Collectors Mingle. We're going to talk about Catwoman, the Dark Knight Catwoman. The Dark Knight Catwoman. We're talking about Barbosa because a third party I actually care about. So now we're going to be a hypocrite and we're going to discuss it. And then we're going to talk about Prime 1 Joker because everyone's really excited about that one. The final products came out. They look not good. And then from there, we're going to talk about other things about positivity versus objectivity, all the fun stuff. Let's get into it. My amazing panel is here. Like I said, handsome, not single, but are ready to mingle. Let's do it.
Oh,
caught in the act, bro. Okay, at least wash your hands out. He don't even wash his damn hands. That dude's nasty.
Motherfucker, bro. Like,
he's nasty.
Why, man?
Oh my God.
On, man. Come on.
Oh my God, guys! Thanks so much for joining us tonight. It's going to be a blast. We're going to talk about a lot of cool stuff as always. Figures, talk about everything else in between, you know, philosophy as we always do. We are the Aristotle of collecting, right? On this panel. So much philosophy, right? We're tooting our horn a little bit. We're collectively Aristotle. That's what we'll say. Maybe Miss Cleo, maybe a little bit of that too. So yeah, that's pretty good. So Obstacle, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm kind of tired now, but kind of sleepy. Always happens after.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, right.
Yeah, you know.
Well, that's why you do it before bed, not now. But.
Exactly. That's why, you know, I try to condition myself, put socks on, you know. But
wow.
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Yeah,
stretching.
dude. Optical. Dude, our Battlefront stream last night was ridiculous. You see that video of Carlos?
We got a group picture. Yeah.
Oh my God. You guys got to go back and watch that. Optical had us all do a group photo in the game. So we all kneeled down and took a group shot together in the game. And right when our friend Carlos kneeled down, he got shot and blown off the map. Like we all taking a photo. He was like, Carlos, kneel down, take a picture. And Carlos like, and just gets shot straight and dies.
The funny part is like I was Darth Maul and you guys were like troopers. And I said, Lane, go to my right hand side. And he was just like, but I'm a trooper. I was like, that's exactly the point.
Right.
You guys are my assistant.
Optical had a photo of him with the. He was like, take a picture of me with the smoke, and the smoke was around him. He was standing up as a trooper.
I'm like
Triple
Triple H. So
yeah, true. It was badass. Dean the Dream, how you doing tonight, man?
Good. How about you,
dude? Happy to have you here. I'm gonna convince you to get that Sephiroth. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah. Dude, you message me like every day with a new photo.
I know, bro, because they're all
I can't
fire.
wait to see yours in hand. That'll be
okay.
The real, you know, decision makers. I gotta know somebody that has it, you know.
Okay, gotcha. Well, your setup's looking real nice back there. I'm liking that.
Oh, thanks.
I see all those troopers. That looks real classy.
Oh yeah.
Are y'all talking about the most overrated game in the history of mankind?
Wow. Which one?
Final Fantasy VII.
Oh no! Get out of here, Optical. We were though. But
I came here to have fun. Honestly, I feel attacked.
I feel attacked a little bit too, Dean. Dean, I'm glad we got two collecting with you guys. Mario,
I know, dude. I'm excited, Mario.
I know, like we're almost outnumbered at this point, but just barely not mathematically. Mario, how you doing, man?
Doing good, man. Just enjoying my lovely Sunday night and hanging out with all of y'all, dude. So thanks for having me on, bro.
Dude, your setup is looking real classy too. I can see that doll back there. That's from Galaxy's Edge, right?
Doll? Oh, that one.
Yes.
I'm like, you looking at my the
yes,
Magic cases? You calling my shit dolls, bro? How dare you, dude?
That's like a trigger word for collectors.
No, seriously, man. I mean, I've been hearing a lot more lately, and I'm like, you know what? I'm ready to freaking throw all this shit away and just start going statues full time now, and that's it. You know, I'm going half scale props, everything, dude.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah,
but yeah, no, that is from Galaxy's Edge, bro.
Yeah. I've seen that there before. It's really nice. I got one from one of my friends. Actually, I brought it back to him when I went there a while back. So like 2 years ago. But dude, looking real classy.
Cool, thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Leo,
what's up, bro?
That posing video, dude. I watched some of that. That was amazing. And,
yeah, man, it was fun.
But you had Brendan moderating. Was that a good choice?
Yeah, it was. You know why it was good? Because he kind of kept everybody engaged while we were posing. Because I couldn't do both. You know what I mean? And you know, me and John, you know, Iron Logan, we couldn't do it. You know, ourselves. So, and we had like a, you know, almost a full panel. We had Jetta Ryan was there. We had KG there. So it was a decent size, and we dedicated the entire show to Spider-Man. So with No Way Home coming, we just wanted to kind of just go for a free for all when it comes to like all the figures and stuff like that. So it was pretty fun, man. Enjoyed that. Last night I went to go see now. Look, I enjoyed this movie. I don't give a fuck what nobody says, but I enjoyed it because I enjoyed the original. I love the original, but I went to go see West Side Story last night, and the rendition was incredible, bro. Like, it's an incredible film.
I've seen the reviews; are great,
bro. Really? It's incredible. It is incredible film, bro, and it's a different take on it because it, like I said, I mean, it's really good. Like, because now it is really in on the Latin community, and pretty much the struggles of what it was coming around that area, around that era. But bro, it was some great acting, great singing, great dancing. Like, your boy Steven Spielberg pulled it off. He killed it. So I love that film. So me and Toya went last night on our date night. It was incredible. Nice. And then today, like I said, we had take a position, bro. Like, so it was fun, and now I'm here with a bunch of handsome dudes. So I'm cool with it.
Hey, we're mingling, so that's what we do. So yeah, but I definitely want to see West Side Story. Also, Optical told me about, what was it? Encanto Optical.
Encanto, man.
Encanto, yeah. I heard it's really good. I was gonna go see it today. I just ran out of time. So I wanted to go see it, and I want to go see House of Gucci too. So but Encanto Optical, I've seen the really good reviews for it, and you kind of sold me on it.
You got to see it.
Is it good? What is it about,
he even said
bro?
it's better than Coco. That's
kind
bold.
of like Coco, but
what?
Better. We went there for
Coco's amazing.
Dude, how dare you, sir?
Dude, like no, I'm telling you, it's better than I love Coco.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like the same because it has a Latin, heritage.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Because I really resonated with Coco, man. There were so many little things in it. I was like, oh man, I know that this reference, this reference, this reference, this reference. Everything was like so relatable, bro.
Come on, Mario. You know the meaning of Encanto? That's Spanish.
Encanto, yeah. Encanta, yeah.
Mario, I'm telling you, bro, you have to go see. Listen, bro, just go see West Side Story for me, man.
We got
please.
some shit to say.
Just
Dude,
go see
I still haven't seen the original, bro.
Bro,
it does.
I did.
You don't have to.
It
you
is
don't
intriguing.
have to.
It is intriguing. I know.
You don't even have to see the original to see this one.
Yeah,
it's incredible. I love it.
Can I just say real quick? I mean, since we're on the topic of Hispanic culture, just shout out real quick. Rest in peace to Vicente Fernandez.
Yeah.
Musical icon in the Mexican singing community,
Mario.
and we just lost an absolute legend, bro.
Yeah.
Mario. He's my mom's neighbor.
Damn.
Get out of here, dude.
He owns a house across the street.
Wow.
And
Are you serious, Dean?
Yeah, me and my brother were talking, or not my brother, but my he's like my brother, my buddy Tatum. We were talking about him last night because my friend was, she was asking me some questions, and my buddy was like, "Dude, Vicente lives across the street from his mom," and we were like, "Yeah, that's crazy." And then this morning, dude, at like 7 a.m.
Get the news like that?
Yeah, and I was like,
that's
what?
wild, man.
Wow. Yeah, to be fair, he only lives there like half the year. But that was crazy, dude.
You know what's crazy? There's an impersonator that goes around. He's touring right now, and it turns out that he's doing a show locally. So my family just got tickets to go see him, and then to get the news today was like, oh shit, that's wild. So I know that show is gonna sell out like crazy even now. I mean, supposedly this guy's supposed to be really good, but we'll find out. We'll find out soon. So
definitely,
shout
out. Rest in peace.
Yeah,
absolutely.
What I would say though with Coco Optical, if you don't cry during Coco during the final song, then there's something wrong with you.
Dude,
remember, you didn't cry, Dean, during Remember Me?
All my friends were like, "Why aren't you crying?" I'm like, I don't know.
Dean is heartless.
I know, heartless Dean. That Remember Me song, man. Even my mom doesn't even like animated films, and she cried. She was like, "Oh my god." I was like, "Yep."
Yeah.
So it gets you, bro. They know exactly. They know what they're doing. They get you, but. Let's address the chat real quick, guys, before we jump into this. Lewis Abits, thank you so much, Lewis. $4.99. Seriously, guys, these super chats really mean a lot. What's up, crew? Hope everyone had an awesome weekend and good collecting week to come. Absolutely. Absolutely, Lewis. Thank you so much. And I think we got a good collecting week to come. So I'll address the chat real quick. Sukathu in the house, Nathan Alker, Nathan with the amazing bases, Cobra's collection, Bob Dylan house. A+ moderator. He moderates the chat for us. He's an amazing, amazing moderator, and throws some wit in there every now and then. So, Yotu Kathri and Bob Dylan, 166. Let's see. Simon, JC in the house, Docinator. Like I said, Doc Smith is also my other moderator, also an A+ moderator. I have two great ones. Ren Solentino, Brad K, AJ, greetings. Thanks, AJ, for joining. Let's see. Who else am I missing? The Ben Cave. Looking forward to the Joker Gate talk. Makes that Justin on the show tonight. Yeah, we'll see. That's funny. Toya, the Queen is in the house, Leo. Queen is watching.
Always watching.
Always. Angel. Super Miguel. Dude, speaking of Miguel, there you go. Lane Kramer, our Battlefront partner, Optical. He's getting better. We roll deep with the Death Troopers, so
he's getting there.
We're carrying
he knows
him,
his role now. He's like a human shield for me.
We're like a droid shield, a metal
Dude,
shield.
I was out last night with my buddies. I had a buddy coming from out of town, but the whole time I was like, "Damn,
Yeah, you should have joined
I
us,
could
bro.
be playing Battlefront with."
And Lael needs to play with us, and Mario, really. But Mario's a PC guy, so he doesn't have.
When it comes to FPS, yes, I do prefer a keyboard and mouse, bro. But I mean, yeah, Battlefront you can't play in third party, but for third person, I just haven't gotten used to it, bro. But
yeah,
one
fun.
day.
Lael's gonna play with us right now because Star Wars is his thing. So, Paul Ha, Brendan Riley in the house, the moderator, the newly found moderator. 6 Mafia, FF6 is the GOAT. It's all about FF7, bro. Tell him, Dean.
It is. It's the best one.
Yeah, I haven't played 6, so I can't say. Cuervo in the
I'm
house.
convinced.
6 is good.
Yeah, I heard 6 is good. Let's see. I think that's mostly Ro Moreno, 165, 6K reviews. Okay. So, yeah, we got a lot of people in the chat. Thanks so much for joining, everybody. Hopefully I got to everyone. If not, I'll try to adjust everyone in a little bit. So we're going to jump right into this one. We're going to start with Catwoman because Catwoman was sort of a drop that happened out of nowhere. I know we've all talked about this on different streams too, but we haven't talked about it on this one. So I want to go into sort of the nitty-gritty of this Catwoman. This is a figure I think that I was personally not expecting. I was not expecting this just because they are tackling the Dark Knight stuff, but I didn't really expect a Catwoman to pop up this soon, right? I definitely expected a Joker or a Bane or something else to pop up before we got Catwoman. So we'll get everyone's thoughts on this one. Optical, what do you think? I know I watched your preview video, so I think you're probably going to stick with the original, but what do you think overall about this release?
I'm happy for. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a biased Dark Knight fan, so if I never had this, instant pre-order. I mean, but I do have it, so there's no incentive for me to get this really. Like unless you take out the mask, because I haven't seen it, and the head sculpt is, absolutely gorgeous. Then maybe I'll pick it up. But for me, not seeing that as of yet, it's not an instant pre-order. However, if you are a Dark Knight fan and you want this, there's a few, like you already know what to expect from the first one. The gloves and boots flaked, and the goggles are really fragile. So I don't know if they, fixed that. Hopefully they did. But how are you really going to fix Pleather, though? I mean, it is what it is. But with that being said, I mean, look at when the last one was released, 2014? So if you don't pick this up, you might wait another, X number of years. Granting you like Dark Knight, though. Now, there's a lot more figures now that's coming out than 2014. So, it's a bit difficult to swing 285 currently compared to 185 back in the day. But it looks good so far. If you don't have budget for that Queen Studios who's riding the Batpod for $600, I believe, then pick this up. 285, I mean, still, I know Lane's going to pick this up because he just likes.
I think he does thing for strong women, but yeah,
Or cats. Yeah.
Yeah, cats and strong women.
Yeah,
but,
cats in general.
Yeah, cats more so cats.
More so cats. Like he doesn't care if a woman is strong as long as they're cats, but.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good. Does it feel modern? Does it feel 2021? I mean, from the poses, it doesn't look like it. I don't even know if the elbows can bend far out. From the looks of it, it doesn't. But we shall see. But again, if you're a fan, I would say go for it. Go for it.
Yeah. So what do you think, Dean? What do you think about this Catwoman?
Yeah. We had a heated discussion on
Did you?
CW the other day.
Oh, y'all could have filled me in on this. Was John involved?
It was John.
Oh, for sure. No, this dropped when we were streaming, dude, and John's reaction was just priceless, bro.
Dude,
Did you see that? Was it about Reissue or what was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
My argument is, from what I've heard, the suit is like retailored to a new body, and you get this like diorama backgrounds. So to me, this is not a reissue. This is a retooling, a 2.0. It's a reissue to me is the exact same thing as the first one in like the same box and packaging. So we had a disagreement. That being said, I think this looks really good.
What's up?
pictures between the two, I still think the tailoring is a little better on the first one, even though they said it's updated on this one. But like even just the collar on the neck looks better on the first one. But you know, that's an old figure, so most of them have issues, you know, like the flaking and stuff. So I think if you really like this character and you wanted to update it again in your collection, I think this is great. I have no qualms with it. I don't consider this a reissue at all. Just my personal opinion. I don't know about you guys, but I think it looks great. I'm not a fan of the Nolan series, so like for me, this is a pass. But I can look at it as a collector objectively and be like, hey, like good for the people that want it or need it or want to replace their broken one or whatever. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, and I tend to agree with you, Dean. A reissue to me is a straight up reissue. Nothing changes, right? Like it's if they put out Catwoman exactly the same materials, same head sculpt, no accessory changes. Otherwise, it's a 2.0. Like for example, Loki Endgame versus Loki Avengers, right? It's definitely a 2.0. Same kind of deal with this Catwoman. So yeah, I would say for sure that that's kind of what's going on with it. But Leo, I know you're really excited about this figure. I think it looks great myself, but I'm interested to hear what you think.
No, I'm definitely excited. We talked about this before, but I remember I talked about this a long time ago, especially when I got, you know, the recent iteration of Batman from the Nolanverse. You know, yeah, and actually I have the the tumbler on order as well.
Oh, you did order it?
Yeah, I ordered the tumbler. I have both the tumbler and because I've always wanted it. And now the thing is, this is like more incentive to even get that Bat Pod because I wanted this particular figure. Even if I don't get the Bat Pod though, I wanted this figure because, like I said, I've loved it. I think it would go well as a companion piece. Here's the thing: is like my argument is going to be different when it comes to reissues because if it's a reissue of the same IP over and fucking over again, then that's when it's annoying. You know what I mean? What I'm talking about is like constant reissues. But here's the thing is there's some reissues that I despise, but then there are some reissues and I'm like, you know what? I never had it. So that's why I don't really frown upon reissues too much because, again, when we got that Mark V, I never had it. You know what I mean? And I was so glad that they reissued it. Now I'll have it. I can't wait for it. And the same as this. I never had this figure in the first place. So to now, you know, have a chance and the opportunity to get it, I'm all in. You know what I mean? I've always wanted it. I thought it was an interesting figure. So, you know, I have no problems with it. And now just even knowing that, like I said, even if they did the retooling on this figure, like, sorry for those who had the first rendition and it had problems. Now I'm getting something that's new, improved. I mean, I'm happy about that. It's a win-win for me. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, this definitely is a no-brainer. I'm pretty sure, like I said, with the head sculpt, I mean, once, you know, it gets closer to production, we'll see it. We'll see what it looks like. We're going to see an update on it. And it's going to be spectacular, man. Like, I mean, I love it. I already have some ideas for it. And this just gives me more hope that they're going to actually release the DX Joker. And I know they will. You know what I mean? I know it will. That's probably going to be next. But yeah, I'm hyped. I'm super hyped, man. I can't wait to get it.
Yeah, you know what's great too, Leo? Warner Bros. Is all picky about the gun thing. Hot Toys is like, nah, fuck it. We're just gonna put the gun right in their hand, bro. So I guess maybe it could have been an oversight, or maybe
like they just didn't give two shits. Yeah. They're just like, fuck it, we're gonna put guns in everything. I think they put her in secret
base with the gun too.
Probably did.
Yeah, which is crazy. Maybe with Hot Toys they have that kind of leverage; they could just do what they want. But
probably.
Yeah, I do get what you're saying, though. It makes sense. Like the Mark V is a really good example, or like I said, Loki Endgame. It's a remake, in other words.
And a lot of us didn't really get a chance to get it, so like to have it now, the Short Trooper,
Mark 47.
Exactly. So I don't really feel. Come on, man, John. Man, John, before you start talking about reissues, man, take your figures out the box, bro. Nah, that's my guy. That's my guy.
Yeah, we love John. But yeah, so Mario, what do you think about this Catwoman?
You know what? I mean, I hear the ideas of the improvements, and yeah, it's nice and all. But the problem is that when you're reissuing something like this, I can't help but be paranoid that this is the same thing is going to happen again as far as materials degrading over like another 3 or 4 or 5 years. You know what I mean? So is this something that I really want to get into? I mean, with potential figures that are going to degrade like this. I mean, that being said, I think that might be more of my my point to try to get the 1/6 statue from Queen Studios instead, just because of something like that. And also, you can get that pose from the statue itself, and I don't think so much from the figure. If you do combine it two, I think between the Bad Pod and the actual figure itself, it comes out just under 600. So then jumping up to the Queen Studios, I think it's another $100, something like that, coming at $700 or $800.
Like maybe $250 shipped or something.
Yeah,
much,
something like that. So
a quarter.
I mean, I consider that the better value. However, I mean, that's just what I think of this figure in particular. I'm curious as to why. I heard Justin or somebody else talk about this, as to why they didn't show any photos with the mask off, and somebody had mentioned, to the point that it's possible that they might be updating the sculpt as well, maybe later on down the line, which I think would be a little bit more valid, be a valid argument to be an actual 2.0, or actually just to top it off, rather, with the improvements on the suit, supposedly, and amongst everything else, it does look like just a repainted head, or repainted from the 1.0 head. You know what I mean? So if they did decide to come out with a updated head sculpt, I think I would appreciate that. Another thing too, why not go with the sculpted hair? We saw these backlashes. I mean, not backlashes, but I mean, we saw people expressing their not so favorable points in regards to Black Widow, in regards to Wonder Woman, and their latest product, they're all sculpted hair. So why not just take the opportunity to do the same thing with this figure as well? You know what I mean? I think I probably would have appreciated that a little bit more. I mean, just considering that her hair is not really all over the place. It's just tied back and her hair just like hangs down. So, I mean,
yeah,
I think they could have done, some sculpted hair.
It will be all over the place.
it will be.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Another good example, Mario, was Wanda.
By two people.
Yeah,
Wanda, exactly.
Wanda, but I get, like, from Lael's perspective, posing would be a lot easier with rooted hair. If you had sculpted hair, it'd be like Qui-Gon. You can't really move his head very much,
Right. Especially with that long hair. Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of the dilemma. True. But I get, Mario, I would probably prefer it with sculpted hair too, but I get both sides of it. When I saw this originally, I almost thought it was like Proxima, that third party, where it's half. Like the top was sculpted and the rest of it was rooted, but it's not. It's fully rooted. It's a little like poofy on the top there. But it looks good overall. I'm with you guys overall. Do you think it looks good? I've maintained the position, though, that I think it's good. Like, I would give it like a solid 8. I just feel like it should be better, because with the competition that's out there for Catwoman right now, and they're all bringing absolute heat. Like, this one's good, but it's taking the same sculpt and just repainting it. So, which is good, but I mean, I feel like it's a solid 8. Like, I see Anne Hathaway there, but I see her a lot more with the more expensive stuff, and I get it's a lot more expensive, but Hot Toys has always been the king of realism. Like, that's their thing. Like, that's their throne, basically. So now, if that's getting taken away from them, even by more expensive competitors, that's still problematic. It's competition. So to me, it's really good, but I think they'll improve it. I think they're gonna take it and run with it. Maybe that's why they didn't show her with the mask off. Like, kind of like Wasp and Ray. They improved those. So.
One thing though, the base looks phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
I'm really a fan of that updated base. So
they're going full in on diorama bases. Yeah,
yeah, that's what it seems like with their previous releases. It seems like they're favoring more and more the diorama bases, which I think is great. I mean, you're bringing a lot more to the presentation of the figure itself, and I think it's a nice touch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
so,
I think with the price points they're getting at, we should get more than a fucking hexagonal base.
Right. True. I agree, Dean. If it's going to be $285, then they need to have bases like these, I think.
Yeah. Dude, and just, I mean, the VTS Cloud, Will?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a polystone base with magnets and everything. And that figure's price point was $220 maybe?
Something like that, yeah.
Crazy good. And yeah, you're not paying a license. It's a third party, but still, like.
Right.
At the price point Hot Toys is at, they better be giving us bases like this.
Yeah. And
on the downside, though,
sorry, go ahead, Leo.
Here's my thing. On the good side is, okay, yes, we're getting a reissue, or we're getting a remastered version of the figure and stuff like that. And for those of us who never really had it, yeah, that's fine, and we can get it. My biggest argument is going to always go back to, because you're sparing no expense on reissuing or remastering or revamping these figures, when you could be putting so much more emphasis on figures that we still don't fucking have yet. Like, seriously. Like still figures that we don't have in our collection yet, that we're still waiting on, figures that a lot of people want that you still haven't released or you still have no plans on releasing. It's like, okay, yes, fine. Give me this one, fine. I'm fine with that. But still, you haven't given us shit yet. You haven't given us the shit that we want. And that's where it becomes questionable. And that's why I think it's, a lot of people are leaning towards, other companies, whether it's third party or statues and stuff like that, is because, but even with, I will say though, with some statues, they're also doing the same thing with these IPs. They're releasing things that are popular and not things that, they're not taking too many risks. So
no,
that's
the
way I see it.
Yeah. And I want to say thank you so much to Ashley Chase. Thank you so much, Ashley, or Ash, as I call you in the chat. What's up, everyone? Thanks so much for joining in, Ashley. Everyone's doing good. And I totally get what you're saying, Leo, but I do feel like ultimately this does bode well for Bane and Joker. Mm-hmm. I think those are definitely coming. Do you guys think that's the case? I mean, do you think those are coming down the pipeline sooner rather than later?
Yeah, I sense Bane being next. I mean, just look at the pattern with. I think with this base right here, it kind of screams like, you know what? With this scene, Bane is going to be next. I mean, also too. I don't remember that torn cowl being with Catwoman. Wasn't that like an exclusive to Bane or something like that?
It's not torn. It's just an empty cowl exclusive edition in the first.
Oh
release.
yeah, there it is. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Well, the Bane one was like split in half,
torn.
wasn't it? Because Bane.
Yeah,
broke
Bane
it.
was split. Like
Right.
literally in half.
Yeah, but like for real, I mean, with Bane, I think with a remaster for that one, like Leo, that's a great term, Leo. By the way, a remaster, that's perfect. Because like what they do with video games, but I think with Bane, you would need swappable arms, give him a seamless set, and give him a jointed set. So when you put the coat on and put the jointed on, and then if you have sleeveless, you put seamless on, kind of like Thor from Infinity War, right? So Bane, I think they could nail the head sculpt. That head sculpt was fine, honestly. Just repaint it a little bit, and it's probably fine. But Bane, and he has a mask covering most of his face, so it's not as difficult. But
what would be cool with Bane? I mean, because the idea of the seamless arms, I get kind of nervous about that because I like it when he's posed where he has his hands like pretty much at his near his collars. So if they did some sort of maybe swap out arms with the pre-posed arms or something like that,
that's what I'm thinking, right?
Or actually just or articulated arms instead. Just give us the option to use both. If they want to display it without the coat, go ahead and just throw in those, those fully sculpted arms, those unified arms. And then if you just want to go otherwise with the coat on, just swap it out with the fully articulated arms. That'd be nice.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you guys think, is there any reason they're delaying Heath? Maybe after what to sing with Prime 1, which we will get into. But is there any reason you think they're delaying Heath Optical?
Yeah, I think with the response of quarter scale Heath, like you said, like there's competition now. You can't just release something like Prime 1 did, otherwise you get this storm that's coming to you. So that might be, or maybe they're just gauging like how well these guys are gonna sell first. It's like, all right, and is it worth, because anything but rooted hair is not acceptable for that Joker now. It has to be rooted hair. It has to have purse. Otherwise, it'll be DX11, which is not bad if you never had them, but they'll get criticized, if there's no improvement. So I guess that's the only reason. Is with that Bane, there's engineering required, maybe because with those improvements, also the cost would go up. Maybe they're thinking, was like, is there still love for Dark Knight? I mean, if we price Bane with all that things, how much is he going to be for? 320? Are people going to put 320 for Bane now in 2021, 2022? So I guess those kind of things factors in, but we all love to see those improvements, but I don't know, they're business, so maybe they're thinking about those things.
Yeah. Leo, is that what how you feel too about the Heath Ledger and the Bane?
Yeah. I mean, hopefully, like I said, with them, they're if they're going to take their time and get it done, and it's going to be done right. That's what it's all about for me. Don't just do it and just throw it out there, because the thing is, it's like someone said before, like they should give us, the jacketed version, but then also, they should give us like just the seamless arms like they did with Thor. Right. That would make so much more sense. Don't just give us like those jointed arms like before, bro. Like I hate them. That's why. That's one of the reasons why I didn't pull the trigger on Drax. When that dropped, it was horrible, bro. I didn't like it. It was out of proportion. It looked like a fucking toy. It was disgusting. So I didn't pull the trigger on that one. But I guess if they're gonna retool it and they give us something better, then yeah. I mean, I'm all in for that. But that's again. I mean, the thing is, it's hard when you're a collector, especially when you're a completionist and you want to complete certain things. I mean, I really, really, really don't advise people out there to go down the same road. If you're not a completionist, don't be. I am, because I'm stuck in that place where comic books, movies, Star Wars is just my jazz, like all day, every day. So I have no choice. I'm already in that place. You know what I mean? Some people be like, oh yeah, you have a choice, just don't buy it. No, if I have a vision, that's the thing. If I have the vision,
exactly,
the vision takes over. So basically I have a vision of how I want it. So of course I want to do it a certain way. So I guess that's the biggest problem for me. But yeah, I mean, as long as I get it right, I can wait on it, and I'm all in, man.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's really cool. So guys, we don't talk about third party much, but there is one that dropped recently that's pretty cool. So I mean, and you know, I'm the movie guy. I like the movie. We're all movie guys here. So I wanted to share this with people just because this is pretty cool. So SW Toys is from 16 Kit. They put up a pre-order for, they call him Lord of the Caspian Sea. So what a name, right? What a name. So yeah, this is something that I think is really cool just because it's different, right? It's different from a lot of the third party we do get. And like Lael said, they finally just had to make an IP I cared about. That's all it took.
Yeah,
that's all it
pretty
took, right? So I want to go around the panel on this one. I don't know how big of a fan you guys are of the Pirates franchise, but I have the Jack Sparrow and I love it. I was a really big fan of the Pirates films. I didn't really love the third one that much, or the fourth one was terrible. But the Dead Men Tell No Tales I really liked, and the first one and the first two were really great in my opinion. So I really would like a Barbosa to go with Jack, so I am considering this. But I want to start with you, Lael. How do you feel about this Barbosa? Is this something you would pick up? Do you think it's good?
I mean, no, I think it's amazingly tailored. I mean, it looks, again, I mean, when we're comparing Hot Toys to, some of these other companies, we're going to always look at that first. But then again, I've grown to give these third party, companies a chance, and they've really produced some great product. And it looks like a great figure for like those who are a fan. I mean, I'm a fan of Pirates of the Caribbean, but not enough to get the figures. You know what I mean? So I just haven't really, I didn't dive into that IP, but I won't take away the simple fact. And then the accessories that you get with this, I mean, like it's a no-brainer for those who already have it. Go ahead and get it. And on top of that, you're giving these third party, which I'm so proud you are giving these third party companies a chance.
Well, not yet. I'm giving it a chance, but I'll wait to see the final product. If it's good, then I'll get it.
But with that basically being said, and looking at the head sculpt on this, it doesn't quite look like Barbosa to me.
It's not 100%.
Not 100%.
It's not 100%. I think it's like 80, 85.
He looks like this, just like a Hampson dude. Like this looks like he's like seriously. He looks like he's ancestry to Mario. Like that's Mario's ancestry, bro. Like straight
that's
up.
Mario's
bro. Like,
great.
That's great. That's Mario's great grandfather, bro. Like straight up. That's some
beard.
Hampsonness right now. That's some
too bad I didn't
shit.
inherit those genes, bro.
But you know what I mean. So like, yeah,
the scar is cool though. Look at the
the scar is dope, but the head sculpt is a tad bit off. But again, again, like straight up, like he looks like a Laurence Olivier type of dude, like straight up. But nah, I mean, it is like straight up. Like I mean, if you're a fan of the IP and you already have the figures, then why not? Go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I get what you mean. So Mario, how do you feel about your great grandfather?
Yeah,
how's he look?
Yeah, tell him how you really feel.
Man, you know what? Lael like pretty much nailed a lot of the points that I was going to mention too. Is just that it looks, it looks too good looking. This isn't Jeffrey Rush, how I see it. I mean, I want the bigger bulgy eyes, the longer beard, scraggly beard,
some more wrinkles.
And this and that. Yeah, exactly. He just looks way too damn young.
Yeah.
However, I really have a soft spot just for this IP because I'm the Disneyland fan and this and that, so my heart is along with the attraction over there. So I loved it when it came out. I completely ate it up. Just recently after I moved in, I just recently set up the Jack Sparrow, the DX, the newer one, and it's such a freaking awesome figure. I absolutely love it. And just to have a potential companion piece I love the idea of it, but in my opinion, I don't think this is going to be it for me personally. Leia mentioned the tailoring looks good. The costume is all right in general. To me, it looks it doesn't have that quality that I would expect from Hot Toys. Granted, I shouldn't expect that, but if they really want to take these things, next level, just beyond the presentation of the head sculpt, I think they should work a little bit more
on weathering it a little bit.
Yeah, weathering would be good.
weathering will be nice. It's just adding a little bit more details. I mean, if they exist in the suit, I mean, I really can't speak much to that because I don't know the suit like in the back of my hand like that. You know what I mean? So, but what I do like, I love the monkey. The monkey looks fantastic.
Yeah.
I think the likeness on the monkey is a lot
The monkey likeness
to that than
10.
the actual actor itself. Exactly. Yeah, the monkey likeness is 10 out of 10. So I consider picking up the set just to get the monkey. But everything else,
Look at that monkey. Look at that.
Yeah, dude, it looks great.
10 out of 10 monkey.
Yeah, it's awesome. You know what's funny too is that the final shot where they show all the accessories, they're pretty much like an exact copy of like what Hot Toys is doing now these days.
Let's see.
You know what I mean? I love how they set it up.
Oh
right
yeah,
there.
Everyone's
Yeah,
pretty much
know?
copied that formula.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, each individual shot of the accessories, you know, the a close-up shot with the actual figure and a far-out shot of the whole thing. So, but it's all right.
Yeah, it's definitely not bad, but it's not great either. I agree.
Ladies and gentlemen in the chat, Mario took Ancestry.com, and this is what he found out.
Yeah. He's the Lord of the Caspian Sea.
He's the Lord of the Caspian Sea.
There you go.
Exactly. So, Optical, how do you feel about this Barbosa? I know you're a big fan of diorama bases. It's like a mini one, so you know.
I'm just gonna get the diorama. No, I'm not. But it's an interesting release because I don't know how many people still have, or how many people actually bought that DX15 or something. But
the Jack, the
I know it's sought after now, but it kind of sat for a while as well. I mean, it's a great figure. I don't even like the movies all that much, to be quite honest with you. But this is one of those things where it's kind of like Hellboy to me, where the figure is so good that I gotta get it. So I took that, but like, there's no companion piece to it. The only one would be Angelica, which was their Sideshow was giving that away back in the day. They couldn't give it away. The people are returning it, even though they give them the figure. And then the other guy who's really expensive now, I don't know his name, but you know,
Davy Jones.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Davy Jones. Yeah. I wish I was able to get a Davy
Yeah.
Jones. Yeah.
But I mean, if you have that, I do. But again, I'm not a big fan of the movie. But just from a figure perspective,
Wait, you have the figure? You don't even know the name of the character, the actor?
Dude, I don't even know that. Yeah,
Oh.
I don't like the movie. I just looked at the figure. I was like, man.
Oh, Davy Jones is a great figure and character. Yeah.
Yeah, if anyone needs a reissue or 2.0, it's that guy.
It's
right
Davy
there,
Jones.
man.
Yeah, that's like 2009.
But that
so
IP is kind of dead right now. So
it is.
That's the problem.
Yeah, same thing with this guy. Like, if you don't have that, because it's an older figure, like, how many are they really gonna? It's an interesting choice. But I love it for the guys who's trying to look for a companion piece. But like everyone says, like there's rips on his shirt, but it doesn't look dirty, you know?
Right. It looks very brand new. Yeah.
It's new.
Yeah.
Yeah. They need to weather that thing. It's like the Tuscan Raider on steroids. Yeah. Yeah. So Dean, what do you think? What do you think about Lord of the Caspian Sea?
Dude, I can't believe it took this long for someone to make this character.
Yeah.
I mean, arguably, he kind of makes the fucking
show. Like his presence on the movie is incredible.
Yeah, like he's so good. They brought him back like
from the dead
a dozen times. Yeah,
right.
He's so good. So I'm super excited to see this. I don't have that special place in my heart where I would collect this line, but I could see why somebody would, and I'm really like excited to see it. I didn't know this was out until we started the show, and you brought it up. I was like, damn, they finally made him. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I think it looks pretty good. I think it's serviceable on the shelf, you know, fucking 6 feet away in your details when you're sitting at your desk. I think you'll know exactly who that's supposed to be. Yeah, you know, you get up close and start, you know, picking
the handsome version.
So he's good from far, but far from good.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's serviceable. Rooted hair, that's cool. A little diorama base, also cool. The monkey was super cute. I kind of just want the monkey, to be honest.
Yeah, look at
his name's Jack too, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
He names him Jack.
I wonder if it's magnetized or how it works. Like, maybe they just propped him on there. So that's not going to work.
Figure looks like it should be on an Old Spice commercial, bro.
Dean, you know what would have been nice to have magnetized is the freaking cat that came with the Godfather, bro.
Oh yeah.
Oh, R.I.P. Poor Mario.
Yeah.
Did it fall?
More context on that tomorrow.
Okay.
Just stay tuned.
All right, you gotta let me know, Mario. But yeah, I get what you're saying, Dean. I think it's a cool. Like Lael said, I think it's cool that third-party figures are tackling something new. They're tackling something interesting and unique. And I think, like opposite, I don't think these are gonna fly off the shelves. But it is Pirates, and people will still get it if they have Jack. So I'm very interested. I'm very intrigued. Despite he is too handsome, you guys are totally right. And that's kind of and I'm also wanting to see how the final product turns out. It might not even be this good. So, I just want to see. I'll see, in hand reviews and pics, and then make my mind up. It's only 170 shipped.
Wow.
So 170
It's
shipped.
not bad though.
No,
That's
from
definitely
16
not
skip,
bad.
170 shipped, and there's other sites too out there, but 170 shipped is pretty good for this guy. So that's why he's not a hot toy where he's like $300. So, that ain't bad, right? So guys, we got a serious topic to discuss here. This is gonna get real fun, I can tell. So let me share my screen here because I want to share some photos that we have that a lot of people have graciously put on the internets to talk about this. So we're going straight into this, and I'm going to real quick hide my sidebar and then tile to the right of the screen. Thank you, Justin, for teaching me how to do this. Okay, so we want to talk about the Prime 1 Joker that was just released. It just started shipping from Japan from Prime 1 Studios, right? So this Joker was 1/3 scale. It retailed for $14.99, so $1,500. You get one head sculpt with it. You get a cool base. And this is what it turned out looking like, right? The proto you can see on the left-hand side. This is a collector's pick. The lighting is obviously not exactly the same, but you can see neither is the final portrait. So optical. I'm going to start with you on this one. This Joker. So optical, give me your thoughts. Give me the rundown. Break this all down for us, please.
So the one on the right is kind of like how I see girls in the club when I've had beer. But the one on the left after like 3 beers. So I'm a lightweight, but but dude, wow. I mean, see, there's a notion that you need something in hand to make your final judgment, and I get that. The thing is, God gave me eyes, and I'm gonna use it.
Oh yeah,
I don't need this in the palm of my hands to say that this is 2 different head sculpts. I mean, this is like the other one looks like it got painted by K.A. Kim or whatever. I don't know if she's painting. Maybe
she did. Yeah, she did.
Then the right hand, it looks like it got sent to a factory somewhere else. Dude, here's the thing. Does it look like Joker? Yes, it does. It's more. Wow. Okay.
Nah.
No, and Nicolio dropped. He said, "I like it more than JD. They're better picks." No, I'm gonna share all the picks that we have.
Yeah.
I'm gonna share all the picks that have been posted online.
I was actually leaning towards getting this because I felt like for 15. Okay. This is just getting me started to be.
So we're gonna share all. Okay, look. So those picks are a little bit better. Someone posted J&D. Look at that harsh lighting on J&D. That doesn't look great either, but still looks a lot better than Prime, in my opinion. So agree to disagree, Nicolio. You know I love you, but
ooh, that was rough. That one looks a little better. That picture right.
That one looks much better.
Yeah. So, dude, I don't know. It feels more like a sideshow piece, honestly, than a Prime 1 piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to. Yeah.
It feels like if it's 600, I'll be like, cool, man. You know what? It is what it is. Have you seen the Joker that was sitting on sideshow? We were sitting on the. It doesn't look Joker either, but if you just want presence, like a big Joker behind you or something, that cool. 600, 1,500, hell no.
Plus shipping.
Plus shipping.
So you're looking at like 1,700, 1,750. Yeah.
This is just slightly better than Sideshow. Let's just put it this way. This is not at all.
No, that's what I'm saying. Leo, I want to go to you next. on this one. So what do you think? I don't know if you've seen these photos yet.
I mean, I was gonna get this in the first place, but damn, it looks like you see, or you got the pamphlet in the mail or from Madame Tussauds. On what to expect once you get there. You get these all pristine photos, and then you get there, it's like what the fuck, bro? This looks like something that you would get at GameStop.
I've been that drunk before.
Like, yeah, bro. Like it's just horrible, bro. Like this, I don't know. Like, okay, so are they? Nah, fam. Like, nah. Come on, man. Like,
wish.com.
What did they do? Like, I mean, literally, like one looks like it has Kiss makeup on. Like, like literally, bro. Like, it just does not look good at all. And this is from the same company.
This is Prime 1. This is Proto versus Final.
Yeah.
So the prototype. Oh wow.
That's Proto versus Final.
Got catfished.
Yeah, we all got catfish.
Big
like,
time, big
well, hold
time.
it. Did you have this on order, Will?
I did at one point, but I canceled it way back and it gave me my NRD back because I decided to go with Prime 1 looked amazing with the proto. I almost liked it almost the best, but I ended up like going with J&D and Queen.
So is there somebody that you know that's getting this, bro?
Well, Dante was going to, but I saved his life because he was going to pre-order this like for a long. He was like, dude, I'll just pre-order it. It's going to be fine. I was like, Dante, wait for the final product.
Man,
and then he did.
Dante, bro.
He waited. Okay. Now he's not getting it. So thank God I saved his life.
Dante, he saved your life, bro, because this right here. I
saved you an NRD, dude.
Literally, this right here. Oh man, straight up. Like
you owe Will a nice Christmas gift, bro.
You do, bro, because yo, this looks like somebody painted Sammy Davis Jr.'s face and just put it on here, bro. Look at that.
They
like
said Prime 1 versus Primo 1.
Nah, man. Like this is terrible. Like this is literally. And the thing is, if I was a company, like, how is it that you have the prototype and then you make this? Can you not make the comparison and see like, yo, something's off? Or do you just, and this is what I'm saying, companies like this, it's not just them, because Hot Toys has done it too a few times, that they actually produce shit like this and then they have this expectation that we as consumers are just going to let it slide. And it's
we're not going to notice.
Okay. And we're not going to notice shit. Like this looks horrible, bro. And the thing is, if I'm saying it, like, damn, bro, like, come on, bro. Like, you just gave, oh, nah, man. Like, seriously, whoever has this, and I don't give a fuck, because I don't owe them nothing. They don't owe me anything. If you have this on order or pre-order, you might want to reconsider and get your money back until they do something right. Because this is terrible. Like, this is terrible. And I'll say it. And whoever basically stands behind this company and said, no, hell no. Be honest with yourself. This is some shit. So don't do that. Don't do that.
And I get, let's address this comment real quick. Mark, thank you so much, Mark. Really crushed my dream with these photos. I'm so sorry, Mark. But we got to do, and Leo, you're right. And I talked to Justin a lot about this. Justin's position was, hey, we're judging it too harshly because we got to wait for reviews to come in. But if all the pictures look like shit, Leo, all of them look like shit, all of them have different lighting. This lighting's not that bad, right? For this Joker, it still doesn't look good.
Nah,
it's not anything like the proto. Like it's
this is terrible.
It's like 50% decline. I mean, look at that proto versus final. I get the lighting's different, but this is not good lighting either. Like and that one looks incredible, and this one looks like Wish.com. I mean, it's like this. Like what the fuck, dude? Like I'm lucky I didn't pre-order. I'm lucky I canceled it and they gave me my NRD back because I'd be pissed.
Nope, like, I'm not with it. I don't agree. This is one of the things that I don't agree with, that you don't need to have this piece in hand to really make that decision. This photo is showing you everything you need to see.
It's too expensive to do that. It's $1,700 shipped.
I'm not taking that chance.
I mean, I'm not saying $1,700 to hope I like it more in hand. No.
I'm not taking that chance. Nope, not at all. I'm good. I'm good money. And I wasn't gonna do it anyway. No. But I mean, even still, I feel bad for the consumer and people who had hopes for this piece, bro. And this is where it goes back. If you put your heart in. Bet you them payment plans aren't looking that bad now, aren't they?
and the thing, Leo, is like I have the Prime 1 Joaquin. It's still a really good piece, but it's a decline from the Proto. But it ain't like this.
Yeah.
Like the decline from the Proto was like 100 to 80, maybe. This is like 100 to 50.
And then look at the hair, bro. Like look at
the detail on the hair is gone.
The hair is gone, bro. Like they really, like, literally, man. I beat Mario, if you said you was getting this, bro, I would literally go to California and choke you out.
No. Well, you know what? Yeah,
for $1,500.
I might as well just keep it just for the review, bro. I mean,
I'll choke you out live.
I get Justin's perspective on it. I just don't agree. Like I don't think I'm not taking a $1,700 experiment.
Like, nah. The thing is, it's like no. And for those of us who don't have it like that, that's not a chance that I'm willing to take. Like seriously. You know, you dropping coin on something like that. And the thing is, when you set a price mark at that level, bro, then you expect some good shit. And the thing is, it's like, yo, why can't you stick to the damn prototype, man? Stick to that. Like, literally, what is the hardest? Come on, man. No.
But my thing too, Optical and everyone, is like,
boing.
It's the same way, though, with Hot Toys and anyone. If you can't reach the proto, do not advertise it. Because you're going to inevitably piss people the fuck off. Like, you're going to release a proto that's a 10 out of 10 and then release this shit that looks like Wish.com Joker. Like, it's like, it looks like the Optical said, this looks like a sideshow statue.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
and I get we're going to wait and see what the video, maybe it'll look much better in the videos and we're overreacting, but all the photos look bad from every collector. And they're all those collectors are posting layouts saying they're very disappointed. So it's not like they're posting photos like, oh, it's great. They're all pissed too.
In Sideshow's defense, bro. In Sideshow's defense, certain statues look better than this. Honestly.
Yeah.
I'm dead ass serious. They look
Prime
better
1
than this.
we're talking about.
Hell no, bro.
But
hell no.
What do you think, Mario?
Dude, I'm looking
I'll
at
choke
this
you
over
out.
here.
I'm gonna choke you out. You better say something right. I swear, I'm gonna choke you out. You better say something right. You got this time and platform to speak. Say some right shit.
All right, Mario.
Okay, you know what? Look, I'm gonna say it like this. I was never a fan of this particular piece from the beginning, just because of the pose. The initial pose, I wasn't really a fan of. So that's why, me personally, I ended up with the Queen Studios version, right? And but I was always turned off by this pose. I was watching Chris, the Batman statue, earlier today, and he did bring up a couple good points in the fact that, yes, typically whenever something comes out in collectors' hands, sometimes there's shitty picks that drop. But the problem is, I mean, even with better lighting and better cameras, we're still getting it still doesn't look good. Right, the sculpt looks completely different. I mean, not just the paint apps, but I think they hit the sculpt in the hair itself, the entire sculpt in the face. Also, it just doesn't look right. But here's the next thing: they also solicited a bust that has more of a stoic look on Heath Ledger's face, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, let me ask you guys this: you think that could be the saving grace for this piece, or is all hope completely lost?
The only way is if Prime 1 sees the outrage from this sculpt and changes it production and halts production now and says, we got to rework this, because otherwise it's going to come out looking like this. Yeah. Because what's going to change? I mean, if the production and you're getting, I don't know what the painters were doing. I mean, I don't know. The Prime 1 doesn't, I have the Balder and the Joker and the Bane right here. They're all 10 out of 10 incredible statues. But the Joker is like a 9, but he was still a downgrade from the Proto, but still really great. Sure. And the Balder especially is incredible. But this Mario, I don't know who painted this, but if Kay Kim's not going to paint every one, then don't advertise her work like she is, right?
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
I get that's not feasible because she's a talented, in-demand artist, but don't advertise a Proto you can't reach, or not at least if you can hit 90% of it, maybe. But if you can only hit half of that Proto, then you need to stop advertising it.
Don't set expectations you can't deliver on, man.
Yeah,
I think Bob Dylan mentioned earlier too. That's why he's pretty wary on statues, because you really got to see the end product. The thing is, I know a lot of statue collectors that don't collect movie pieces. That's why they collect more on the comic side, just because there's really not that concern of an actor likeness.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because it is pretty difficult just to nail an actor's likeness in a statue form, unless you have talented artists like J&D that are working with companies that can provide the end product, which is pretty damn close to the prototype. This though, I don't know what the hell happened. Another idea that I heard too is that Sideshow does some sort of what is it, whenever they get something new in hand, they do a first look when they unbox something and they get everybody that. So why doesn't Prime 1 do that with this, especially with all the backlash that it's getting right now? Why not just if they think it's better than what the photos are actually portraying, why not do something like that?
Yeah, I saw Batman Statue Collector talking about that. He raised a really good point. He said basically there's so much outrage, Prime 1 needs to stop doing this and get ahead of it. Because there's so much outrage and panic, they need to release a video before they ship it to people and show people what they're getting. Because if you opened your box and saw this, you'd be like, what the fuck? You'd be like, I just got scammed. But anyway, so I want to address this real quick before I move on to Dean. Dante said, "Will save my marriage."
Wow.
Yeah, well, I must have, because I told him to wait on the pre-order.
Chicago, baby. Chicago's, I got my money on this. Please win this game. Chicago, that's what I'm talking about.
Did they just score?
Yeah, they did.
God damn it, I have Green Bay defense.
No, what are you going to say now? Go ahead.
All right, so I was going to jump to Dean. Dean, fill us in on your thoughts on this statue here.
If I was in charge of Heath Ledger's estate, I would sue.
Yeah.
The man's dead. He can't even defend himself on this. This is atrocious, dude. I mean, I don't even like the Proto, but this is a far cry from even that.
Yeah.
It's just not good.
Yeah, bro.
Objectively, I don't again, people always give me shit. I don't like Batman. I don't like the Nolan trilogy. I don't have a connection to this character, so I really don't have a dog in this fight. But even I could look at this and say this is bad. Prime 1 makes fucking fantastic products. Amazing. They're my favorite statue company. We have 3 of them in the house.
Baller.
It's not up to par with what they usually put out. I don't know what else to say other than this is bad. For $1,700 when it's all said and done, like, absolutely not. I think you hit the nail on the head. I think they need to stop production and retool that head sculpt and
I think they need to do a recall on this one.
Yeah.
Like,
for sure.
They might lose money, but they might need to recall this.
Just the head sculpt. Have them
Yeah,
send-
just head sculpt. And then they'll
That's
send
true.
everyone
I mean,
send
Hot
everyone
Toys-
just a new head sculpt. Yep.
Yeah, like, hey, destroy, or I mean, who gives a shit? Do whatever the fuck you want with the original one. We're gonna send you a new one.
Right.
We've seen Hot Toys do that with the Iron Man. It's like, hey, send us back the old one and we'll send you a new one. Because that's just no bueno. I mean,
This is
sure,
far
you'll
too
have
big
a-
of a character, Dean, to fuck up. I mean, it's
Right,
like, this
exactly.
is like Iron
Even I
Man.
could
This-
recognize that.
Yeah, this is like the Iron Man of DC. I mean, this is like compared. Heath Ledger Joker is like too big.
Yeah, he's on a pedestal that no one can touch. So like, I get it. It's just wow. I hadn't seen these pictures. Again, I don't really have a dog in the fight, so I wasn't interested at all. But when you pull it up on screen, if you go back and look at my reaction, I was like, what am I looking at? It's not good. It's objectively terrible. And that's coming from someone who loves Prime 1. So
Yeah, me too.
wow. Absolutely wow.
Yeah, and I want to address Bob Dylan real quick. Thank you so much, Bob Dylan, amazing moderator. A+ really does mean a lot. This is a big reason I'm wearing statues. You don't get time to decide. You pre-order, miss out. Has anyone tried to get their NRD back? I don't know if any of us have it on pre-order, but the chat, guys, feel free to chime in on that one. I got my NRD back a while back. This is before, like months and months and months ago when I canceled this. Not because of anything to do with the proto. I liked it, just I didn't need every Joker. So I don't know. You might be able to do it, but Prime 1 is usually notoriously picky about that. I'm surprised they gave me mine back because normally they're like, nope, no chance. They don't really make.
So then they knew this was coming.
Maybe they were like, Will, we're gonna save you on this one. We're gonna save you. And Dante is saving your marriage. Yeah, and I agree. Lewis said he agrees with you, Mario. They have to knock it out of the park with Joker Bus and definitely either stop production, revamp the head sculpt, no question. I think so.
Yeah.
They need a refund for this. I mean, because that bus shouldn't be a prerequisite. That's another $380.
Right now you're paying $2,000.
Not paying you should get what you paid for, and this is not what people paid.
That bus should have been included with this thing.
Yeah,
right. It should have for that price. Yeah.
I almost want Optical.
We should send him a copy.
I almost want Optical to get this so he could. I just want to hear his review. I just want to hear it. I don't want to see your face. I just want to hear your review on this figure like you always do to see that shit. Because that shit would be funny as hell, bro. Like I would. Come on, man. Like, look at this, bro. Come on, man. Like,
it's 10 years old.
Like, I thought y'all were playing around with me for real when y'all showed me this shit, bro. I thought you was. I didn't think you were serious.
No, bro.
I did not. Like, look at. Come on, man.
Oh, hold
like,
on. Let me solo you.
That 1.6. Like, look at that. Look at that, bro.
Hold on. I got it. There we go. Solo layout. There we go.
Yo,
10 years old.
Yeah,
that's still better.
Man.
That ain't great, but it's better than this.
It's better than that.
Yeah, come
It's
on,
1.6.
man. Come
Yeah.
on.
Jesus.
I
What
need
the
that
hell?
piece, bro. I can't wait till that guy gets.
I know a reissue.
But look at this, bro. Come on, you. It's like you were heading in the right direction with the first one, and then you did. See this, Mario. This is why I'm like, yo, I don't. Whenever people, even Hot Toys, when they release those prototypes, and everybody's all excited about it, I'm like, nope.
Right.
I wait.
Which we're going to get into, Leo. We're going to get into that.
Wait. I will wait because I'm telling you, this is a prime example of how you could fuck shit up. And I know people are in the bed right now crying, shaking, quivering back and forth because they spent that money on this shit. Like literally, like, come on, man. Like, nah, this is worse than Tony Stank. I'm saying that right now. This is worse than Tony Stank, bro.
I think it might be.
This is the worst head sculpt I have ever seen. This is terrible. I'm sorry.
I think MMS 68 is better than this.
Yes.
And that's MMS 68.
Oh my god.
Yeah, MMS 700 now. God,
Dude,
damn.
that's wow.
That's saying something.
Dude, fucking Force Awakens Chewie is fucking.
Yeah, right.
Sorry to cover your face, Mario. I just got to cover this super chat. Thank you so much, Paul Ha. Hard to compare the materials used J&D and Prime 1, but this Joker isn't good all around. J&D CEO announced 1/6 figures coming soon. Interested? Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, wow.
If J&D announces 6-scale figures, especially if they make it, dude, if they make a Heath Ledger, I don't know if I'd get the Hot
Wait. Figures are statues.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe a statue.
It's figure. It says their figure.
He says 1/6 figure.
But I don't know.
Oh my God. Who's doing that, J&D?
That's what he said.
dude,
Oh,
yeah.
Please.
That is serious competition to Hot Toys.
Yeah, that would push
That would be.
That would push Hot Toys to their limit.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
I would love
do it.
that.
Please.
Hot
do
Toys
it.
needs some competition. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we've been saying on the show for a while, Mario. Is
Two things.
Hot Toys
Yeah.
is gotten complacent because they don't have competition. And
Two
Right.
things
Well, they
I
do
wouldn't
now with
like.
statues, but you're right, Dean, to a
Yes.
degree. But now Queen's
Do
making
that.
6-scale Catwoman. That's great. Like, I mean, you're starting to see it.
Two
Three's-
things I want in life: Mario's beard and for J&D to make a better figure, bro. Come
Mario's
on, let's
beard,
do
number
it.
one.
Give me
Mario's
1/6 figure. Come on, man, let's go.
Carlos, thank you so much. Hot Toys core scale Joker's looking really good right now. It is. It is. J-Rod makes a good point. I don't know. J&D will charge 1K for a figure. I don't think so. They charge 2K for a 3rd scale. For a 1/6, you might pay 500 or something. Like,
if anyone's getting this Joker statue, and you know, like you're either gonna return it or maybe you just don't want to look at it for a while, send it to Optical for a review because that shit would be fucking amazing.
send it to Optical. I would love for it.
I would love to hear that shit because,
I'm gonna bang
Right?
myself just to get Optical a copy.
woo,
I
yo,
don't know, like,
please
what I
do
would
Let's
it.
start a GoFundMe for that review.
Yeah.
Please do it. Please send
Ashley
it to
Chase,
him.
send it to Jetta. We should send one to Jetta and Optical.
Oh man,
Oh,
Optical.
thank you
is-
so much, Ashley. Seriously.
Yeah, come on, send it to
But
Optical.
yeah,
man.
guys, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I don't know
This is
how
why we got
to-
trust issues. All right.
Right.
It is. It is. It is seriously
yeah,
why we
that's
got
why I have
trust
trust
issues,
issues.
man. Fuck
Yeah.
that. Fuck. Look, I'm not spending on. Listen, Justin, I love you, bro, but I'm sorry, I cannot pay this amount of money for this thing, and just say, okay, look, the only way I'm going to be able to tell it's horrible is if I get it in hand. This is proof. Like right here, I didn't need to get it in hand to see that. I wasn't gonna get it in the first place, but I didn't need to see it. Huh?
Is Justin getting this?
I
don't
think
know.
he's going to. Yeah, I think he's going to. He wants to
wow.
review it. He
Please
basically
don't.
says that doesn't look that bad, and that to him, you need to see in-hand reviews to
Nope,
make an accurate judgment.
not
And I'm
this.
like, I don't agree, but
Not
you know,
this.
teach their own.
Not this.
Not this. I've
Not
seen
this
enough
one.
pictures to make at least a determination for me. Like, you know, if you get it in hand and it's 20% better, you're like, well, it's still not the proto. It's not what I ordered, so I'm happy I didn't buy it. So, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And J&D, the final product looks great. I've seen in-hand collector pics. I've seen their video. It looks great. So I'm thrilled with that one.
Man, the prototype was an Instagram photo. The other one was real life.
That's what
Look
Optical
at
said.
Brendan. Brendan coming in with fighting words right now. Look at the super chat.
Oh yeah, Brendan.
This is the
Thank you,
Olive
Brendan,
Garden
moderator Brendan.
statues.
Olive Garden statues.
Dude.
No, if it were, it would be better.
Fuck, dude, Brendan. Fuck yeah, dude. Thank you.
Oh, the guy Mark. Let's see. J&D don't want that heat from Hot Toys 1/6. Oh, but we'll see. That would be an amazing competition. I'd love to see him go head to head.
Hot
I
Toys
don't know.
been slipping, dude.
Yeah.
You know what, guys? Can I? I'm in the honeymoon phase right now with this figure, but I just received the Damn Toys Godfather, and I gotta say, if Hot Toys has competition, don't sleep on freaking Damn Toys, dude. This thing is an
okay.
absolute masterpiece,
Dude, Damn
You showed
Toys
from
makes
what you showed me, that
fucking
thing was
awesome
incredible,
stuff.
bro.
Yeah.
dude.
The likeness is all the way there, bro.
And the fact that you get 2 sculpts with
Oh.
this thing, it's insane.
God,
Mario
bro.
figure of the year?
I'm sorry.
You think that's a figure of the year for this year?
My figure of the year, 100%, dude. No doubt.
Yeah.
Wow.
No doubt.
That's saying a lot too. When you
Yeah.
showed it to me, you showed it to me like, bro. When you was telling me about it, I'm telling you, I was picturing that Indian with that tear that comes down his head, that Native American with the tear,
Yeah.
that one teardrop, because you were passionate about it. I was like, yeah, I know it's a good.
Dude,
When you're that
yeah.
passionate, and you show me something outside of Star Wars IP, bro. I'm like, yeah, it must be hot. It has to be
Yeah,
hot.
Well,
it's
Paul-
that good right now.
Paul clarified. He said J&D announced 1/6 action figures, limited numbers, little more than 1/3 scale statues. They say so. They're 1/3 scale. They put out like maybe 1,300 of them or less. Like so, it's gonna be a limited run. So if you want a 6 scale from J&D, you'd have to pre-order like that night. So But for real, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see 6 scale figures and give Hot Toys a run for their money.
Hell yeah.
I like what Queen's doing too with the Catwoman on 1/6. They made the Joker of the police outfit in 1/6. Like, you know.
Leo,
Bro,
can
look,
you
listen.
imagine 1/6 J&D Star Wars?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Can you imagine, dude?
And that's the thing. Hot Toys will step their game up too, and we all win.
Yeah.
So,
Bro, listen, I'm telling you
man.
this right now. And I was talking about this on, Take a Position. Toys Era nailed it with this figure. With this figure right here, they nailed it. I can care less if I'm telling you, Hot Toys can release this tomorrow and I will not get it because this is all I need. I'm fine. I'm good with this.
Wow.
They nailed it with this figure, bro. Like the tooling and just what they've done with the suit in general. That's what I'm saying. Like Hot Toys in the end all be all, bro. And they are like optical. They like they said, it's slipping. They're slipping. They're not. It's like there's competition out there, and if J&D drops some heat, yeah, let's see.
yeah, competition always benefits the consumer. And Paul Ashley said he got hit with a shovel, the Joker. CEO has started a YouTube channel and talked about it. Okay, yeah. So I think that's
Interesting.
What's his
Let's
name?
go.
I forget the artist's name. The J&D guy. But he's really great. He was a former Hot Toys employee.
Well, let's go.
But guys,
Oh, really?
this leads us into our next discussion because Leo, you were about to hit on this point, so I want to talk about this with you first. Everybody definitely is going to chime in on this one, but prototype versus final product. The way I kind of want to lead into this topic is how much should we expect a proto to be like a final product? How much of a decline should we expect? Should there be any changes? We pre-ordered it based on one thing, and I know there's usually a disclaimer saying like, oh, the final product may change, right? But how much should we accept or be okay with? Because like this Joker, for example, is a big drop. Like the Ant-Man, that sculpt I think was blurred out though at the time. So, but still, Tony Stank, like there are other examples where we've seen decline in head sculpts. What do you think we should expect when it comes to proto versus final product?
Look, the thing is, these companies, for instance, I'll give you an example. When they dropped that Golden Armor Wonder Woman, we saw the head sculpt and was like, yo, that's fantastic. Like, that's fantastic. The head sculpt, basically even it had rooted hair, but it was still on point. Why do you think, and I'm just putting this out there, why do you think it's taking them so long to release that figure, bro? That has to be one of the reasons. It's not just because the armor is it's not only because that armor is flaking. There has to be another reason why it's taking them so long to release that figure because of that head sculpt. You make a promise on something like that because, like I said, that prototype was incredible. And this has happened time and time again where we jump because we look at the prototype and we're like, oh, I cannot wait to get this figure. And I'm like, nah, I think you should. I think you should basically wait and see that production photo first. Because the thing is, they are baiting. It's like a bait and switch, bro. Like they want you to believe that head sculpt it entices, and it does. It entices us to basically pre-order. And like I said, I'm just not pre-ordering figures right now. I'm just not in that, in the company of actually doing that right now because I just like Optical said, they wonder why we have trust issues when it comes to these companies because they give us certain things. They'll give us a head sculpt, and it's like, yo, this is on point. I love it. It's incredible. And then once you get the final product, it's like, wow, like really? The only head sculpts I can say that have been damn near perfect since, honestly, since they showed us was the Tamora Morrison head sculpt for any of the clones that you basically have because it's almost damn near the same. Yes, all they're doing is just a repaint on certain things, adding scars wherever it's needed. So you can almost bet that it's going to be half damn near decent. But any other figure, like seriously, I just don't. I mean, after what they did with that Tony Stank head sculpt, and then because it's one of their most important IPs, they doubled back and said, okay, we're going to do a re-release. We're going to retool it, and then we'll actually send out new head sculpts. Mind you, I still have the original, and because I got it through a certain company, I'm not going to name names, and it wasn't Sideshow. I got it through a certain company, and I was unable to actually get a replacement head sculpt. Like, they literally didn't want to do it. So I was like, all right, cool. I'll just rock with this one, but I didn't even get the opportunity to get it. So this is my point. It's just like, yo, like it shouldn't have taken us to be as vocal as we were to get a remake. We should have had that from the word go. And if we're paying this much money for these figures, why not? I mean, if you're putting that out and you put that prototype out because you want us to believe that that's how that figure is going to look, and you give us something completely different, that's and that's why myself, I don't trust it, and I wait. When people just marvel over these head sculpts, wait for that production photo to come out, and then you'll see the real deal. So that's, I mean, more power to people who get baited like that, but not me, son.
Yeah.
Nope.
So Dean, how do you feel about this? Do you feel like this changing? Like, do you feel like your mentality is changing on Proto versus final product? Like, Leal, are you changing like your methodology with it, or how's it working for you?
Yeah, I mean, when we do our show, and we have new release or new announcements almost every week, I always say, hey, this looks great, but prototypes always look great. So yeah, I think you should wait, and especially with Hot Toys. Now, I don't know about like statue game because I'm not really in it that much, but they really don't sell out that fast. You have like a year to pre-order it and then another year waiting for it. So, or even 6 months waiting after everybody else has gotten theirs. You're still waiting for your figure. So
right.
I feel like you should wait for in-hand photos because, like Leal said, with as much money as we're paying for these things, and it's just getting higher and higher and higher. I think that what you said earlier, I think like if you could hit 90% of the prototype, that should be about where you should expect 80 to 90%. And if it's not there, I don't think you should be buying these products because then we get something like this, that Joker. That's terrible. Like you said, it's like going from 100 to 50. It's just like not good. And it is unacceptable for us, especially for that price. So yeah, I'm with that. I really don't pre-order that much. I pre-ordered Cody or Rex because, like he said, it's Tamora Morrison. They're pretty much got that on pat. Like it's not changing much. And I think the only other thing I have on pre-order is Ahsoka from Clone Wars, and that's like not based on any head sculpt, but also like even the prototypes. I called it Travolta Tano because it looks like kind of looks like John Travolta in like certain angles.
Jesus.
But yeah, it's like I just wait until they come out because you're gonna have plenty of time. A lot of figures sit on the shelf, and it isn't until they sold out that people are like, "Oh my god, I can't get it." It's like, well, you could have like for the past year, but okay. Yeah, I think the acceptable range is about 20% from prototype because then we get shit like this.
Right. What do you think, Optical? What do you think about this whole proto versus final?
Dude, to answer the question, I think Dean is right. Tops 20% because these figures / statue, they have one purpose and one purpose only, is to look pretty. That is it. So they get judged by the head sculpt, the tailoring, and that's it. It's not like a computer where you're going to do a benchmark of the GPU or whatever. That one job is to look exactly what they advertise to be. That's it. They have no other purpose. Sit on the shelf. That's it. So if you can't get it right, I mean, everything else is a moot point. I mean, it won't do anything else, right? But I think that's fairly acceptable to ask for 20% downgrade. We're not stupid. We know we're not going to get what JC Hong is, holding, and it happens all the time. The thing is, it almost comes to our community where it's their God's gift to man. Like you shouldn't complain if it's less than what you're expecting because you're lucky if they made this figure. It became like that in this community where it was like you voice something else, you're negative or you shouldn't expect anything. But in reality, this is $300 figures. It's a lot of money. There's a lot of things you can buy for $300. And again, this has no purpose but to sit and look pretty. And if you can't do that, then why even show the prototype then? If you're not even close, why? It's our fault. Like let's say Ant-Man. If you bought Ant-Man without knowing what it is, it's our problem because it was blurred out. So Hot Toys it didn't lie. They were like, we didn't lie to you.
Yeah, true.
It's just like you bought it. It's like here you go. Same with Mysterio. We didn't know how Mysterio looks like or Flash. However, on Flash, yes, the head sculpt is not that big of a problem, but we got kind of bamboozled with the tailoring of the suit, the color of the suit. Like it's bigger. And now when you say something bad about Flash, for example, they'll be like, well, you're lucky they made a CW. It's like, I'm lucky if they gave it to me, but I paid almost $300 for it, so I'm not that lucky. But that's the only thing that in our community, when you say something like that, like if you expect what you're supposed to receive and it's like not the same. Like that Tony Stank, like people were like, well, he was like, people are making excuses. Like, dude, it's the different head sculpt.
Yeah.
He was just like, no, dude, he was like skinny. Yeah, but that was not advertised. Kind of like this guy.
Right.
I guess the biggest difference between this Joker and that Tony Stank is that we have no other option to buy Tony Stank but from Hot Toys. That's why this is more powerful now with this Joker, because people are like, I'm going to cancel this and I'm going to get it from JND. I'm going to get it from Queen. This is where power of consumer, I think, kind of shifts the balance if you have competition. But with us, that's why I was like, well, don't buy it then. With this one, I'm not going to buy it. I'm going to get my money and send it to Queen. But it's not atrocious to expect at least 90% of what the prototype is to your final product, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think if they're going to market it as something, yes, there's going to be slight discrepancies here and there, but a major discrepancy, a major downgrade, a loss of detail in so many areas, that's unacceptable. I mean, like, I get it. Artistry happens. You can't always hit, what the proto is, but I agree. It should be 10, 20% maximum, because otherwise you're getting in the range of false advertising. You're bait and switching people. You're luring them into buying something, and then you're not delivering on what you expected. Like, if like optical, like you said, like if I hired someone to do a job and you're not doing the one thing I hired you to do, why would I continue to employ you? Right? It's the same thing. Like if I'm buying a statue to stand there and look pretty and to look like a representation of the character, and it can't do that, then why am I paying $1,700 for it? So,
I said it's a Hot Toys in this Prime 1 too. You take out that head sculpt of Prime 1, that is nothing. That's nothing. You replace it with a head sculpt from NECA, that's not worth 1,000 or even 500. No. So that head sculpt is the key.
That is the driving.
That is the key. Yeah, that's what you bought basically.
Yeah, and Dante even said anything over 1K can't be less than 100%. What's the point to buy an expensive figure scale statue if we know the quality will be lower when the final product is released? Yeah, that's fair. Mario, what do you think?
All of you guys bring up some, great points. My problem is that I don't freaking adhere to that. I mean, I'm still pre-ordering. To be honest, I can't remember the last time I actually pre-ordered something. Because I have so much stuff on pre-order that I really want to hurry up and pay off. You know what I mean? Other than some of the statues that I've actually pre-ordered. Like I said, you guys do make great points. As far as you have to expect, some sort of differences from the prototype to the final production product. However, there have been some other figures I'm just talking Hot Toys in general right now. There have been some product that's come out that have actually exceeded the expectations of the prototype head sculpt.
Yeah.
Recently, I think Single Songwriter pointed out too with the Rey and Kylo Ren. That's an excellent example. I remember another one too was the Wasp. Everybody was raving how well that one turned out.
Yeah.
Eric Killmonger.
That's another one. That's what I was about to say. That Killmonger
nailed it on that one too.
100% better.
You got to give credit to Hot Toys for those. They killed it.
So exactly. So you have to give credit where credit is due. So I feel like their track record personally, I don't feel like I don't have much to worry about, because typically their product is as close to the prototype, if not sometimes better. You know what I mean? Even though that you're not going to get the exact prototype paint apps, still the overall sculpt and presentation is pretty much usually better in my opinion. You do get your occasional mishaps, is the biggest one with a Tony Stank, but look what they did. They ended up they recalled it, right? There were some collectors that did like it, but for the most part they did recall it, and they gave everybody the opportunity to pick up a different head sculpt. You know what I mean? So they do listen, it seems. Even with the endgame cap, people were upset that they're recycling the same Chris Evans sculpt over and over and over again. And what happened? They ended up retooling it. And I just recently set this figure up, and I think the sculpt is fantastic. It looks absolutely amazing in my opinion. and yeah, but I think nowadays you do have more of a reason not to pre-order, just because of how nothing sells out anymore, like Dean mentioned. It's not like before. I mean, optical, I know you remember back in the days when something exclusive was announced, shit would sell out or get waitlisted in a day. Yeah. One of the last ones that I remember personally was the Civil War figures, and I think the Scarlet Witch, what was it, the Age of Ultron exclusive that was out there. As soon as that one dropped for pre-order, they went out, they hit waitlisted within like hours. Yeah. But it's not like that anymore. So you have time to really make up your mind, which me personally, I appreciate, because there's so much stuff out there that I want to curate, but But still, I mean, if you feel like you can wait, then absolutely wait. Don't feel pressure to absolutely pre-order day one if you don't have to, especially these days.
Yeah. Yeah, I get what you mean. And we got a lot of topics definitely hitting on a lot of the points you guys made. But I would agree. I mean, I feel like, yeah, it should be there. And like Dante had mentioned, anything over 1,000, you start getting into the range of you're paying a lot of money for it. So it should be pretty damn near perfect, or damn near perfect to the prototype that you know,
Right.
the original agreement you made with the company when you pre-ordered, essentially. So
see, the only thing though, I pre-ordered Latoya T and I got my prototype.
hell yeah. Hey,
I got my prototype.
Listening. She's listening.
I pre-ordered her and I got my prototype.
Damn, you got
straight
100%, Leo.
My prototype was
smooth.
accurate.
110%.
Straight up. I put my money down, paid that off. I'm telling you. And that prototype was accurate. So, baby, if you listening, thanks for being my best assorted
Leo
1/6
must be in
scale
trouble
figure.
or something. He's in trouble.
I feel like you did something.
He
Leo.
did something wrong. He's trying to
No, I didn't.
No,
No,
man,
I
he's
didn't.
trying to get that freaking good Christmas present, man.
You're damn right.
That's all it is.
You damn
Gotta do
He
what
wants
you gotta
another
do.
clone trooper. That's what it is. Yeah,
All the accessories.
exactly. Toya came with all the accessories. Dude.
All the
Full package.
accessories.
And
And I get updates.
you get what were we gonna say? Opticals there.
Oh no, I thought we were talking to Layla earlier. He said he wants an upgrade to the version.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, he wants an updated scoffed. Yeah, exactly. So guys, I want to talk about something too. This can tie into the Joker thing and to anything else that we think about. But you know, I think this is thrown around a lot too, and I've talked to Justin at length about this. You know, positivity versus objectivity, and this is something big in the community, right? I think, you know, what I say is all of us collectors, not just people who do these live streams, but all of us get on here and, you know, even when we're talking to the communities, I think it's our responsibility to be honest. You know, whether it's a case of, but I feel like there is a difference, right? If you're going out there with a malicious intent, that's different than being honest. That's malicious. You know, that's more harm with an intent to harm, right? That's not the case with really objectivity. Objectivity is saying like, look, I'm looking at all the factors here. I'm looking at the pictures. I'm looking at the videos. And I don't feel this product is good. I'm going to say, if you like it, by all means, absolutely go for it. But I think positivity can sometimes be confused with something that's always good, right? Positivity is great, but we should also be honest. So that's my take on it. And I want to see if you guys agree or disagree on that. But I think we need to be realistic and rational about how we feel about figures, because honesty and transparency is more important than always being liked or being, you know, saying following the status quo. And if everyone likes something, doesn't mean you have to like it, right? If everyone hates something, doesn't mean you have to hate it. Like a lot of people hate the sequels. I love the sequels, right? And that's fine. It doesn't change my perspective of it. So I want to see what you guys think on that, just with this Joker and everything else. How do you guys, you know, juggle that? I know because we all want to be positive, but you can't always be, right? So Optical, how do you approach that?
I mean, you guys know we've been deemed as the negative ones in several occasions now, and becoming an objective person, it comes especially with a group that is just overall passionate about things. Sometimes, hey, I buy Asmus. Sometimes you're blind into something. You don't see the things that's in front of you because you just love the IP or the toy so much. I guess I'm in a phase now where I've seen it all, that things are changing. With change, you got to adapt. This is not, 2013 where there's only a few figures that you have no option. Now the statues are all over the place. Now, we got figures from different companies. Third parties are getting better. So to blindly follow something just because of a brand or just because of an IP, I feel like that's irresponsible. And to condone that kind of behavior, especially having a platform, is doing a disservice. It's not like I'm trying to be negative. It's just that, dude, I want you to last as much as I did. I've been doing this for 10 years. I want you guys to do the same thing. And you won't last if you just buy everything that's cool or accept it because it's from Hot Toys, because you don't have any option. Because complaining wouldn't get you anywhere. No, I mean, you are free to rant and rave about these things as much as I am free to say bad things or maybe things that I'm critical about. If I don't agree with the price of these things, it's because there's another one who says maybe similar price or similar factors that you could buy and you get your money's worth. You're free to love and, put this on a pedestal. And I'm also free to say, objective things about it. I don't think we've ever tore down somebody's hope and dreams. We always say, hey, if you like that Joker that we just showed, hey, go ahead, buy it. It's your money. But that wouldn't deter me from saying you got catfished or I got catfished. It's just like that's just how it is. That's there's a gray line when you talk about positivity and objectivity, and I think sometimes it can get really blurry when you're objective that you deemed as negative, or if you're positive that you're just like a yes man. There's like a gray line that we're all collectors. We're all here for the fun, the love of it. But at the same time, if you don't use your head and just your heart, I mean, you'll last like a year, because this is an expensive hobby. There's so many things now. Third party is a thing now. It's a real thing, and they're coming. So if you don't play it right, I mean, can you really buy 50 figures a year? I mean, I don't know. If you could, more power to you. Maybe you shouldn't be listening to podcasts or your streams and just be buying things and posting them around. But yeah, man, it's different. It is different. So it's hard.
Yeah. Yeah. So Dean, what do you think about this?
So I always try, because two things I say on the show all the time, and I get shit for it every single time. I don't like Batman, and I don't like X-Men.
Well, that just shows your character, Dean.
Okay, see,
I'll
exactly.
Dean now.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. But whenever we talk about those subjects, I always preface what I'm about to say with, hey guys, I don't like this thing. Now, I can try and be as objective as possible, but sometimes, your bias is going to come through. And I think just being honest about that and letting the audience know, like, hey, this isn't for me. Like I said about the Joker statue. I don't like Nolan's trilogy, and I don't even like Batman. But I could look at this objectively and give you my opinion on this statue, that it's not good, because I love Prime 1 products, but this ain't it. So I always try and preface whatever I'm about to say with how I feel about the thing. Like the VTS Cloud, the third party cloud. It's probably worse than I think it is, but I just love that character, and I think this is a great representation. So I'm like, hey, I think this could be a third party figure of the year. I think it's fantastic, but I'm also pretty biased. Just be honest about your feelings before you give your opinion. That way the person knows, like, oh, okay, maybe he doesn't feel exactly the same way I do about, say, Cyclops or whatever. So maybe I'll like it just a little bit more than he would, just based on his opinion. So just be honest with whoever you're talking to.
Yeah, and I think, Dean, you guys in Optical both ways a really good point. I mean, I think it's a matter of, and I'm looking at it more so too, is the objectivity when it comes to you buying figures too. Like, that's just my approach to it. Like, there's a healthy bit of skepticism that I think is very important, right? If you look at every figure with a little bit of skepticism and saying, because like Optical's always said, everything's cool, right? Like, everything looks cool, everything looks great, but you got to be skeptical about some of this stuff, about what it's going to come out like, what the company's going to deliver for you on. I don't feel like having loyalty to any company is smart. Because it just they Prime 1's amazing, and they just released this. J&D could release their next statue, and it could not be at all like the proto, right? I mean, you never know. So I mean, so that's why I was saying you put your faith where the best thing you can, but I'd say remain objective through and through. But so Leal, I want to hear your thoughts on this one. I know this is a complicated topic, but I want to hear what you think.
Oh, it's not complicated. This is mainly straightforward. Okay. Like, it's really, really straightforward. I mean, I believe that because, number one, I mean, other people may feel differently, but to me, I feel as though I would be doing myself a disservice. And I think it is my duty and my responsibility as being a content creator, coming on here, you know what I mean? Whether it's your show, my own show, anyone else's show, to be completely honest about how I feel and to give you my take and my opinion on these figures when it comes to price, when it comes to, just the figure itself, on whether or not I think you should buy it, whether or not I like it. I'm not going to buy something that I don't like, and I'm not going to feed into shit just because somebody else thinks that I should buy it. You know what I mean? If you're not going to be honest, then that's fine. That's on you. But eventually you'll get exposed. Eventually you'll be exposed for the person you really, really are. If you're buying up these figures, if you're paying these incredible, or if you're not if you're paying so many different things, these prices for these figures, but then you're not being honest with these individuals or honest with the consumer. You know what I mean? They look at us because, number one, yes, they like the content, it's entertaining, but at the same time, some of them are collectors, some of them are not, but they want to collect. So if we're lying to them, like, what does that say for us? Where does our credibility sit? You know what I mean? It's not really a good thing. I'm not going to lie to you about it. And that's why, for me, I stand firmly behind anything that's affordable. If you like to pre-order, if you like to set up payment plans, power to you, because like I said, that's what I do. I can't afford all these. You have to have it in hand to say whether or not you like that figure. Figures that I don't have in hands, and I don't have to say shit because everybody else who have it in hand has said, yo, this shit is terrible. Like, literally. But they're being honest. We have to be honest about it. Like, it is important for us to be completely honest and transparent about the things we like and the things that we don't like. Because there are people out there who do watch, and they value our opinions. They really, really do. They say it to you all the time, Will. They value our opinions about certain things. And if we're not honest about how these companies choose to do business, there are bad business ethics out there when it comes to certain companies and when it comes to certain distributors. And I'm not going to basically hide that. I'm not going to hide behind the simple fact that some of these companies are upcharging when it comes to these figures. That if a figure is basically released within a week's time or 2 days, because that figure might get traction and because you may not order the first batch, the first couple days, they jump the price. That is unfair. That is completely unfair. And literally anybody who stands behind those morals, you're lying to yourself. Like, seriously. Or some of these companies who say, okay, it's not my problem that this company decides to charge this much for shipping. How is that not? Like, how is that not? Because basically, like, I've seen it happen. It's happened to me plenty of times. You know what I mean? So, yes, I'm going to be honest about it. Yes, when it comes to shit that doesn't look right, if it's a statue or a 1/6 scale figure that doesn't look right, I'm gonna be completely honest about it and give my opinion. Because when it comes down to it, not Hot Toys, even like, look, I give the little guy a lot more chances. These third party figures or these third party companies, they're producing some really hot shit, and they are coming at these big companies. Hot Toys, you've set that bar, so there's an expectation for you to be more consistent. Sometimes you're not as consistent, and you deserve to be called out on that. You know what I mean? If we can call Sideshow out, then we can call Hot Toys out too, especially if they're not doing shit that that we have that expectation. We have the expectations based on the bar that they set, and they've basically promised certain things and they haven't delivered. So I'm going to be honest about it. And if you don't like it, that's fine. That's you're entitled, and you can basically just go to another channel or swipe past the video. But that's not going to stop me from being completely honest. And for any content creator who's listening, who's out there, and you choose to not be as honest as you should be, and you're creating this group of individuals, you're creating a more, I'm telling you, a tainted community because you choose not to be honest. That's bad, bro. At the end of the day, that is terrible. I'm telling you out there, I am not rich. I'm gonna be completely honest. I do payment plans. One of the reasons why I stopped doing reviews is because, like, I don't want to buy day one figures because, like I said, you can cash yourself out. I'd rather basically do posing videos because I can just wait, get my figure later on and pose it because that's more of my wheelhouse and where I'm into. I stopped doing reviews. But that's me being completely honest with you by saying I can't afford all this shit. So I have to basically be strategic when I get it. And I'm not rich. I've gotten this shit over time, like over time. Right. So that's what I'm saying. That's part of me being honest, like literally being honest. I get up the same way everybody else does. I work, you know what I mean? I basically support myself. I support my family. That comes first before anything else. You know what I mean? But this community is a community that I love, and I'll protect every last one of these brothers if I have to. If somebody says some foul shit, that's where I'm at. But I'm just being completely honest when it comes to everything else. You have to be honest. If we created this space, then we created it with full transparency, and we stand to be honest. And that's where I'm at. And anybody else who would be against that, then we're probably not in the same circle, and you're not my friend. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fair. Hey, mic drop on that one. So Mario, what do you have to add to this convo? I know
Dude,
there's been a lot of amazing
follow up after that.
I know that. I know. I should have put layout last. I should have put layout last because it's so impossible to follow up. But Mario, what do you think, dude, about this?
You know what I really appreciate is that everyone here is a man of integrity. You know what I mean? Because I can personally say, all of you guys, speak your mind and speak truth to it and hold to your convictions. And I think that all of us need to be absolutely real about that. I mean, positivity is one thing. It's like I think it comes with, if you're objective about your opinion, the positive can come through that as well, right? It can come with it,
not
but
mutually exclusive. Yeah,
right, exactly. As long as you also, continue to be consistent and hold to your convictions. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, there's really, there's really not much more that I can add to what everyone has already said. If I'm honest, other than just what I just said. But it's just, I'm just gonna leave it like that, bro.
Okay, so since you got time, bro, let's tell us how you wash, condition your beard, what comb you use.
Tell us, Mario.
Basically, how long it takes you to prep before shows. Because you got time. You can't just give us that. Just talk about your beard.
Mario, for real though, how does it take a long time to groom it?
Does it take a long time to groom it?
Yeah.
We're seriously.
Or is it just beautiful? Is it beautiful?
Yeah,
right
I want to know.
Come
on, bro.
Oh man,
you got the most beautiful beard on this channel. Come on, I want to know. Damn it!
Look at that face right
like this, y'all. I wake up. It is what it is.
He just wake up and wipe it down. I wake up just like this.
There is no secrets, dude.
You just get
is what it is.
That's what it is.
I'm just blessed.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that, dude.
Blessed.
Tell you, Ancestry.com.
Yeah, bro. Well, when you're the great grandson of Barbosa,
exactly,
I get it.
right.
So, it makes
there
sense.
You go. It always makes sense.
But guys, so we got a couple big topics here too, and this is one I want to talk about. It kind of ties into the Joker topic a little bit. How much do blogger pics / first in-hand videos and pictures matter? Like, how much do we look into those, right? Because like I said, there's always a debate around this, like how long we should wait, should we get it in hand? And yeah, figures are typically better in hand, but is that a risk we're always willing to take? Sometimes they're not. So overall, Leia, I want to start with you on this one. How much stock do you put into those photos? And there's even not just from bloggers, but collectors too.
I just, bro, like straight up, when I take these photos, I put a lot of emphasis on them because I like them. I want them because the thing is, first, I'm taking them from, I know like optical feels the same way. I'm taking those pictures personally for me first. You know what I mean? Because I like the way they look. I want them to look really, really decent. I want it like it's coming strictly off a page or as realistic as I can actually get it. And again, I take the photos. I use a couple filters to kind of add like certain, some animation or just bring out the quality and I think, here's the thing is like, it's a scary thing because you don't want everybody to think that or have the expectation that it's going to look like that all the time. You know what I mean? Like when they get it in hand, it's going to look the same. And that's a scary part. And that's a scary part for me putting these pictures up because I'm like, I don't want you to think I'm just doing this for me. And I just want to entertain people and just show you like how many different ways you can play with the figure, and how you can make it look nice. And I hope it helps a couple of people out. But I try to, and I guess I should start putting in, just a disclaimer saying, look, I took these photos and I edited them my way, just because I want them to look great. It may not look the same way, but you could just play around with it to see what you can get. But I think it's it does matter because at the same time, like I think it even matters for some of these third-party figures when people actually have, if they're on the fence about it and you get those figures in hand, you take a nice photo and you can tell like, I can get it to look like that. Yes, come on, let me get it. You know what I mean? If you play around with it, you can do it. It's not, Hot Toys is, come on, man. We all know Hot Toys is great and there's not much you need to do with that. But with those third-party figures, you can do the same thing. You know what I mean? So, I think it's really important. It's important for us, and for us to kind of present these things to the viewers and the, subscribers and the people who want to purchase these figures and stuff like that, just to give them some different angles and say, look, this is how you can actually do it. You know what I mean? And I actually think it's great. Me myself, I'm just working myself up to get like all the gear, like you know what I mean, that you and Optical have. So myself, like majority of my photos, to be quite honest, are taken from my phone. So, and I just edit them that way. So,
but Lael, since you do those photos so much, do you like when Hot Toys post those blogger pics? Do you put a lot of stock in those? Like, do you look at those and take them like as like that's what the figure is going to look like, or?
No, Because the thing is, it's like sometimes those blogger pics aren't on point. Like that's the thing. Is like the danger of it is, when you get them, sometimes they can oversaturate. And I think that was one of the issues that a lot of people had in general at first when they saw that Ray figure drop. People looked at those photos. We talked about it. Remember, we had the conversation about that Ray figure until you got it in hand, and I was like, yo, this thing is pretty damn decent.
It's pretty good.
Like, what is people talking about? You know what I mean? So I think sometimes, even like when they took the photos that somebody did, and it's not and here's the thing, it's not to knock the blogger photo, like the photographers. But I will say that some of those photos were like oversaturated when it even came to Mysterio. It was like a lot of people were questioning that head sculpt. And when you got it in hand, it's like, oh no, there's no question. This is on point. Right. So I think it's this, it's we got who was the blogger photographer who took photos for Hot Toys at one time, and they
BG Toy Art.
Yeah, he was crazy. He was nuts.
Like retired though, did he or something?
Did he? I think I don't know, but he was crazy. Like he was on point when it came to it. And then once he left, we had that expectation, like what I mean. Like we wanted it to be almost sort of like that. And sometimes it's questionable. So, but I mean, again, we're figure collectors, so we have a tendency to give them a pass sometimes, but I think it matters. It matters when it's like a selling point. It's a strong selling point when it comes to the figure. So, when we see it, I just don't think there's one photographer in the world, even Jesus couldn't have took a photo to make that daggone Joker head sculpt look any better, bro. Straight up.
Hey. Maybe Justin's up to the challenge. We'll see. Mario, what do you think about this? How much stock do you put in like these blogger photos and things like that, or even first in hand pictures from collectors? We get Jenkin Wong, and you get other people post them. Like you look at those first reveals. Does that help you like sway one way or another whether you're going to buy a figure?
No, not really. Not really, to be honest. I mean, I think what helps are basically the in hand reviews, because then we're actually seeing much more about the whatever figure that we're interested in. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love seeing these blogger photos. I mean, they're hell of artistic. They look really nice. And, these recent Mandalorian ones, there were some in there that looked absolutely incredible and like realistic, But in my opinion, like for me, it's going to take a lot more than pretty pictures just to try to sell me on something. I need to see what this thing actually looks like, because you've also had those times to where, it may look, like shit in photos and what have you. But like what Leo said, if you get it in hand, it's not as bad as you thought.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, the same thing with from prototype to production photos. It's one of those, there are just some of those figures that, in my opinion, you have to have in hand that you really need to really appreciate, that you can appreciate much more rather than just depending on someone else's photos. And sometimes even the video reviews, the same thing. I mean, I think it goes both ways. But in my opinion, I believe the actual YouTube reviews or whoever's out there doing the review is more important than any kind of blogger photos. But to be honest, I don't think either of them really sway my opinion on whether or not what I'm gonna get, because I'm one of those collectors that has my mind made up. If I see something that I like, I'm just gonna get it hands down. Even if it turns out like shit, then I'll just in my opinion I'll cancel it. But for me to come to that conclusion, if it looks like trash, I need to see more of it than just the blogger photos, because those are made up just to really upsell the figures even more, so I can't 100% trust that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's just me, bro.
Yeah, I get what you mean. So what about you, Dean? How much stock do you put into those?
Absolutely none.
So 0%.
Yeah, it's kind of like, oh, cool, the figure's out, or it's about to be out. That's pretty much how I look at them, because their lighting is going to be different. There's going to be photo editing. Sometimes there's like accessories that they use that don't come with the figure, so it just confuses people. I think, it's kind of just how I benchmark, like, oh, this is about to release soon, because some random dude just got one. But yeah, I take no stock in those, because it's either going to blow your expectations too high or too low, like Leal just said with the Ray. Like, so that's just how I see it. Sorry.
No, that makes sense though, Dean. And sometimes it turns out a lot better, and that's great. Like Ray and Kylo, for example, it turns out a lot better. So before I get to you, Optical. Yeah, Ben Thomas, support for Will. Thanks so much, Ben. Seriously. Shout out to Mario, Lael, Dean, and Optical. All amazing guys with great content. Merry Christmas to you in the collecting community. Seriously,
happy
Ben.
birthday to Ben Thomas's fiance too, man. Shout out, man.
Birthday, Ben
shout out,
Thomas'
happy birthday.
Definitely, man.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. So thank you so much, Ben. And we got to hit Lane to Optical. We carry him in Battlefront, but he's a good guy.
Yeah, I mean,
So we got to get Mario, Dean, and Lael on that. We need to roll deep with our squad. You can have like 20 people on a team, so we could roll deep. We could roll collecting deep in those Battlefront games.
Got you.
So
Let's go.
Lane,
Let's try it.
yeah, I did top 10 Hot Toys list for 21 on stream. I had Short Trooper Grunt. I had a Rex was the Texas Sun. Cooked my brain this year. Maybe. Because a lot of people really love that Rex. Do you have that Rex, Lael?
Yes, I do.
Is it better than the Short Trooper?
The thing is, I don't like to compare when it comes to my Star Wars figures, man, because
You got to choose between your
I love the Short Troopers, bro, and I love that Rex, and I just like to separate them from Short Troopers to Clone Troopers. That Rex is phenomenal. You know, the posability of that figure, it looks so good with the rest of the 501st. But the Short Troopers, I mean, there's presence there. I don't know if I had to choose one. You said,
yeah, because Lane said he put Short Trooper Grunt ahead of Rex.
Nah, I couldn't do that.
You're going with Rex.
No.
Yeah.
I'm going with Rex because the quality is in that head sculpt, and then on top of that, Rex with both those pistols, bro, like he's a badass, bro.
I think bang for the buck, Rex. It comes with more stuff.
Yeah.
Both are great though.
Oh, the armor is you get a full body armor instead of just like top half.
Optical's
Well, I
looking
can
at
see-
Short Trooper.
And I love
I
the
can see
Short
where Lane's
Trooper.
coming from. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
looking at
the
them
Short
both right
Troopers
now.
are
I have them both side by
great
side, and they're
figure.
both incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't go. I mean, there's no wrong choice, but I don't have.
Hey,
any
that's
choice.
why I got both, so I don't have to choose.
Yeah, there's no wrong choice. And you know, and Short
a good
Trooper's cheap
answer.
right now. You can get him real nice. So
Yeah.
thanks so much, Lane. Seriously though, Optical. I know, like you like Lael, you know, enjoy the photography aspect of this. So, do you look at those blogger photos? Like, do you judge the figure based off those? Do they change into your purchasing decisions?
A little bit, kind of like Dean. That's kind of like when I see the blogger pictures, I'll be like, all right, it's about to be released. So, because I don't pre-order anymore. So if there's somewhat of a rush, then I would do it there because I'll be like, all right, it's 2-3 months away from the US, so maybe I should do it now. It's very rare that even at that case that something would sell out, but it could make or break the figure. Like that Rey, for example, a lot of hate came out with that blogger pictures because she didn't look right. But at the same time, the other end of it, Venom, who people didn't pre-order when they saw the blogger pictures when he got those things, sold out right away. So they do matter to some people because it creates hype or it creates the opposite. And at the same time, it kind of gives you like a clarity for something like Mysterio, who we never saw the head sculpt. And then all of a sudden this came out and be like, oh, okay, so this is how he looks like. Or Barry Allen, like that Flash. You're like, okay, that's how he looks like. So, but would that sway me? Because let's be honest, like the figures that we like, we're gonna buy it regardless, right? So the reviews on YouTube kind of helps the figure that you're kind of iffy about, kind of like the Rescues of the world or something like, you're kind of like, I don't know, should I buy this? You see a review, it's like, all right, cool, it's not that bad. Maybe I should get it. In that terms, yes, but the bloggers, it does matter a little bit to me. A little bit. It won't make or break the decision, but it might expedite my pre-order, if it's really good. So,
yeah, I'm with you. I think it matters a little bit, but yeah, I think we do put more stock into reviews more so. Like we can see Justin's or Jetta's or yours or whoever's reviews and see them live on box and whatever. And like those are always good and they're pretty helpful. But the blogger photos do matter because if anything, they matter in a negative way because they'll create a panic, like with Rey. Or with Tony Stank or Ant-Man or whatever, like they'll be like, oh man, like there's a panic and now we're like in full scale panic mode because the blogger photos don't look that great, right? So it can go either ways. It can be positive or negative, but they do matter a little bit, at least in changing people's perceptions. But I think we're getting smarter to not overreact to those. But this Joker, the problem is it's not blogger picks, it's everyone's picks, and they all look bad. So it's not. Dude,
even if that Joker becomes 20% better than what it is, or 30%, I don't think still it's going to be close.
It's still not good compared to the Proto, yeah. But yeah, I get what you guys mean. So I think we have time for one more. I got a couple more questions here, but let me see which one I want to get. Let's see. Okay, so let's do this one. Does your pre-order policy change based on the company or collectible, i.e. figure versus statue? So we talked about, a lot of you guys talked about your pre-order policy and how it's evolved and changed over time, right? So Does your policy change depending upon the company? Because, like, for example, J&D, you don't really have that luxury, right? Like, you have to pre-order if you want it, otherwise you're not getting it. And also, do you have more trust in certain companies? How do you approach this overall? Like, has your pre-order policy changed over time? Optical, I'll start with you again on this one. I know you said you're not pre-ordering anything anymore, and that's probably a change from how you used to do it, right?
Yeah. I mean, for Hot Toys right now, you could afford not to pre-order, in my opinion. You can afford to wait. And as a matter of fact, there's almost no incentive on pre-order. Actually, you get disincentivized, because if you pre-order, that means you're going to get it early. If you get it early, that means you're out when it goes sitting on the stock and it goes on sale, i.e., all the Smart Hulk, Rescue, and all that stuff. So if you get it pre-ordered, you get it early. Now you're out of the running to get it cheaper. You still get it, but it's cheaper. Now, does it change per company? Yes, kind of like with Mario, that damn toys. Now you're taking a risk. Some things like the Godfather, I love it, so that I blindly pre-order that, even though we don't know how it's gonna turn out. Yeah. But those are one of those things where, like, man, if it sucks, then at worst I still got a Don Vito, right? At worst. So those are the companies that you might want to gamble. Maybe Blitzway, maybe those are the companies that they might not reproduce another thing. But with Hot Toys, at worst, maybe they'll reissue it, or it goes down. Damn Toys, it almost doesn't go down because they sell out. They're not as big as Hot Toys. That's what I'm trying to say. Statues, you almost have to. But as of now, do you really want to? Because back then, statues, there's only one or two. There's Prime 1, and now there's Queen. Now there's Prime 1. Now there's J&D. I mean, unless you really would like a specific statue, kind of like that Joker. What if you're just a Prime 1 guy? You pre-ordered that Prime 1. You didn't even look at J&D, and look at what happened. I mean, is that more likely to happen to J&D? Probably not. But it's always nice to keep your option open. But the thing is, with 1/6 that doesn't work. Like Damn Toys, they have Godfather. They're the only ones who has Godfather, unless a third party makes it. But yes. To answer the question, it is based on the company. It's a gamble, but it is what it is. On Hot Toys, you don't have to gamble at this point.
Yeah, and it's a gamble. With the statues, is more of a gamble because, like J&D, like you mentioned, it's a great example. If that had gone wrong, I'd have like a $400-something deposit for that.
Yeah.
So if I ended up sucking and I had to cancel it, I eat a lot of money in that.
Right.
So, that would have been horrible. So I did put a lot of stock into that, and risk for sure is involved. So Mario, what do you think about this? How has your policy on pre-ordering been adjusted or evolved? Is it the same? How do you do it?
No, it's absolutely changed. I mean, for me collecting statues, I think I'm taking a huge gamble right now because I'm fairly new to everything and I'm really not sure how everything is going to turn out. I mean, granted, what we saw tonight with the Prime 1, I mean, Joker, who's to say that's the same shit's not going to happen with the Queen Studios? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it might.
And I've got a lot of money into that. I don't know. They're fairly new, I guess, but I mean, I know their work. I'm familiar with their work, but I mean, I'm not familiar with how long they've really been around if they really prove themselves. But I mean, the product, all of the end product also looks amazing. So I have full faith that they'll be able to, to come through, 100%. As far as 1/6 is concerned, I think it depends on the price. So if it's something that I really, really want, however, it's like if I'm looking at like say the Boba Fett 2-pack, right, from The Mandalorian, I'm going to want to try to, because I plan on making payments on that thing. First of all, if I'm going to look at it like that, I'm going to want to pre-order it early as possible. You know what I mean? Just so I can get that lower payment in a sense. You know what I mean? Because that's how I think mentally. Because of all the other things that I have on pre-order right now. So I want to make sure that I have all my finances budgeted properly, and to where I can still be able to afford something like that at a higher cost, if that makes any sense. But if it's something like a standard figure, I can wait, till it comes out. I'm not really, that much in a hurry to pre-order anything at all. And I think that's what's really, that's what's changed about me the most, because before, if anything new that came out, I'm just like, that I was really interested in, especially right now with every Star Wars thing that comes out, that's a day one pre-order for me, no matter what it is. Right. So I'm just going to get it, just because I have that vision of how I want my display to look. But the thing is that there's been so much that's been coming that I see myself having to slow down a bit, just because there's so much being accumulated to where I've got to re-strategize that right now, and to effect I have I have yet to pre-order like so much stuff right now, just because I want to hurry up and get these other stuff out the way. You know what I mean? So but yeah, like the main factor though is just the price of the collectible, and that will absolutely change my pre-order policy.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, Leo, how do you approach it? I know you've changed in recent times with this too.
Yeah.
Can you kind of fill us in on that?
Yeah, I stopped. I mean, like you said, Hot Toys. With Hot Toys, I don't really have to worry about pre-ordering day one, especially considering the simple fact that, the release date on these figures, we're talking about 2023. And then, like I said, we know that could subject to be, that could change, considering the simple fact that, there's always a little delay on certain figures. I mean, look what happened with Ahsoka. Look what's happening with Maul. Look what happened with Golden Armor, Wonder Woman. I really, honestly, unless they prove me wrong, I don't think we're going to see any of those figures this month. We're not going to see them probably until.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, I really don't. So don't even set that expectation. And I just don't feel as though you have to. I mean, like case in point, I made a when Sideshow, put out that, they tried to pull some, trickery on that, the Boba Fett with Throne, the deluxe version. And they said that you had to pre-order within a certain amount of time. You had this much time to really do it before it closes out. And after that time expired, it was still available. You know what I mean? So come on, man. Like, really? That makes no sense to me. So, I mean, I just, in statues, J&D stuff, there's no way. I mean, I'm just being quite honest. Like, I'm very selective about the statues that I get and that I purchase, and I do it within my expense. You know what I mean? Where it's something that I can actually afford. I'm not going to cash myself out. J&D is, entirely too much. It's way too expensive for me right now. I would never do it. I mean, as much as I love those figures, I'm not going to put stock in that because it's way, way, way too expensive for me. I mean, that's one of the things about J&D. They're beautiful statues, but it's too expensive. And, I want to stay within my realm. I love 1/6 scale figures. I love quarter scale statues, just depending on the company and depending on what I can afford. But again, I'm just all out of pre-ordering because, I don't, feel as though I have to until, right now I'm so close to paying off all my pre-orders now. Like, I'm just so close and I'm happy about that. So I don't have to worry about, once I have those paid off, then whatever's important to me, I can pre-order and follow the same thing. But I'm just paying off this first batch of what I have, which is important right now. And then I'll get around to ordering more. But like I said, right now, I just said I'm not going to pre-order, anything else. And then, like I said, this month, with Christmas coming, fairly, you have to basically make sure, everything's on point. But yeah, I don't think there's, in my opinion, there's a need to really jump on this stuff automatically. And sometimes, again, we talked about this before, people get baited into doing that because they want to fit in. That's what they do. Oh, day one pre-order. You see it all in these groups. Day one pre-order. Yeah, I'm getting this. I'm getting that. That's why I stopped even commenting, and I don't even participate in a lot. Just pictures. I post up pictures, and that's it. Because the thing is, it's like people do it just to fit in, and I'm telling you, that's an unhealthy mindset to have. Like, just be smart. Be really, really, really smart, because these things, and I'm sorry that people don't like to talk about expense and price, but this shit is expensive, and you have to be careful. This is the discussion that we have to have. So, yeah, pre-ordering for me it takes a back seat for right now.
Yeah, and collecting weekly. I don't know who it might be. Zach. I don't know. You guys might have to clarify. Dopo is wild. People act like these things are going to sell out. Yeah, for statues, you might have to be a little more aggressive. But for anything else, third party even, you might have to be a little more aggressive too, because it's limited runs. But for Hot Toys, yeah, I mean, it's very rare that a Hot Toys sells out on pre-order, like Venom maybe, or like Mud Trooper Han Solo. Yeah. So most people I know who Dopo Life have lost several Hot Toys worth of figures in NRD. Yeah. It's a changing game for Hot Toys, right? It is. Like, there's no incentive to pre-order anymore, and that might end up, I don't know if that ends up hurting Hot Toys, but they've created that. I mean, by the overproduction of a lot of figures, like so many figures coming out, we can't have everything, so we have to be selective. So, Dean, I don't know if I hit you on this one. I think you're last, right? So we got to do yours. Like, how do you pre-order now? Do you do dopos? Like, what's your policy?
No, I don't think I've ever, except for Captain Rex, because with the way the Sideshow one was, I was like, yo, this figure's going to be crazy hard to get. So I day one pre-ordered Captain Rex from my local shop. Other than that, I don't day one pre-order anything. I never have. I got into the game, I think, late enough that Zach was like, you really don't need to pre-order these things. They're really not going anywhere. And sure enough, with a few exceptions over the last, 4 or 5 years, they do sit on the shelf. I mean, I remember, dude, you couldn't give away Darkseid Anakin.
Right.
Because he was just in stock all the time. It was almost like a guarantee that he would be there. And then after like 2 years of being in stock, they finally sold the last one and everyone freaked out. And now he's like untouchable. But it's like, you don't need to spend that kind of money. These figures will be around. They're making enough for everyone. Also, I can't count on them to deliver on the prototype like we just talked about. So it's like pretty much the only company I could count on is Asmus to make a terrible looking figure. Like I know that it's going to look about as good as the prototypes because even their prototypes aren't great. Like at least they're honest, you know what I mean?
They're consistent,
like,
Dean.
Yeah, if anything, it might look better. You know,
they set the bar so low that it can't get anywhere but high.
Exactly. No, but jokes aside, like I really can't think of a company. I mean, even my favorite line to collect is Final Fantasy VII Player Arts Kai. Even they dropped the ball this year with Tifa and Eris. Their faces were terrible. I think they got Eris just in time that they were able to fix it, but Tifa had 2 different versions, and if you got the first version like I did, because I fucking pre-ordered it, it's not good. It's it's serviceable that like I didn't really care enough to return it and do all the rigmarole, but yeah, it's like I can't even count on the people that I usually count on, especially now with delays, factories shutting down, people, not enough workers. That's what PlayArt said, or Square. They said that they didn't have enough people doing QC during production, that when the Tifa released, it was like, fuck, we dropped the ball. We got to do a version 2. So yeah, I completely just don't pre-order anymore. And it sucks because there are some things that it's like, I might not get this. Like you said, with third party, smaller run, the Sephiroth, the Game Toys Cloud and Sephiroth, I can't find them anymore anywhere else other than I think Toys Wonderlands, and I don't really like doing business with them. But I might be forced to order from there if I really want this figure. So yeah, I just
think that their customer service sucks. Like I really does. I'm just being quite honest. Like their customer service, it does suck. Like. Literally, for instance, I'll give you an example. I pre-ordered the Boba Fett, double pack, and when I pre-ordered it, I pre-ordered first batch. I put in first batch because that's how bad I wanted that thing. So once I did it, it switched me to second. Now, mind you, I contacted the company and I let them know, like, look, because they've done this before for me. They would, once I'm done paying it off, they would switch it, or they would let me pay whatever extra to get it back to first batch. Now they're telling me I have to pay it off and they'll refund my money just to pay for it again to get the first batch. Does that make sense? Like it really, really makes absolutely no sense. And to me, I'm kind of fed up with the company, to be quite honest. It is what it is. But I mean, and it's no steam against anybody else, when it comes to it. I mean, because look, I'm just going to be quite honest. Sideshow does shady business. Toys Wonderland does shady business. I mean, these companies do that. I mean, everybody's trying to make a buck. You know what I mean? But they have to also look at us as a consumer who's helping, and we're the foundation of your company. So it's just like, and the thing is, Dean, you're right. Like in most cases, The only way that I'm going to deal with them is if I'm buying the figure straight out, because I don't want to go on another payment plan with them because I just don't trust the system. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? I pay off everything that I have and I'm not looking back because, you know, I just don't. And it's sad that we're buying these figures from these companies and we just have zero faith. Like, literally, that's the biggest problem that I have right now. So again, I mean, it's not an attack. It's just me being honest.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. It's just me being, I'm fed up. I'm really, really, really fed up, bro, because we're spending too much money. Like, we are. And I know people say, well, you don't have to, you can go somewhere else. Well, it's unfortunate that sometimes only these companies sell these figures and have them in stock that we want. So we're forced to go through these companies to get these figures, but at least they can have better quality customer service. Because right now it's shit. I can't call Hong Kong right now, man. I can't call them.
You want that bill on your phone, yeah.
I can't call them right now, bro.
Look, we got a special guest.
What's up, bro?
Whoa.
Jumbo
What's up
babies.
with you, brother?
We balanced out the panel. Now we got 3 collecting weekly members. They've taken over.
Look at that.
Yeah.
No, right?
We got 50% collecting weekly. What
Right.
the hell is this
You
shit?
love to see
Right.
it. 100% handsome though.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, no doubt about it. Our panel is the handsome is decked out. Zach, since you Aux Daddy came in at the last second,
Yeah.
pre-order policy. How do you approach this? Are you a dopo guy or are you a nopo guy?
Absolutely not. Like these things aren't gonna sell out. Like you know, they might sell out when they're out in Hong Kong
Yeah.
or the week of. But people are like, "Yo, did Hot Toys put up their Sideshow put up the pre-order yet? Sideshow put up the pre-order yet?" There's no point. You could pre-order it 2 months down the line, and it's not even like if you pre-order it early, you get it first, right? We know people that instant pre-ordered several figures and they get pushed to like the second or third batch.
Right.
There's no rhyme or reason for who gets what. So there's completely no benefit to like refreshing a page all day to instant order something. Like, you know, absolutely not. I think for me, if I order something, it's something like I just pre-ordered the Prime 1 advanced Batman figure, statue rather. And the only reason I did that was because it's like a $700 statue, and for me, like, I'm not good at saving money, so if I can, you know, have someone pulling out $80 every month for me, that's, you know, and I can't spend it, that's, you know, that's why I did that. But I have a few pre-orders. Like, I've had Gandalf Crown series on pre-order for like 9 months already, and I'm waiting for the Sideshow fulfillment to come in. So, you know, it's like everybody has their Gandalf already, and there's a rumor that like in the next few weeks they're gonna drop the Crown Series White Gandalf. So it's like, well, fuck, do I want that one or this?
Maybe
Like,
they'll fix the eyes.
I don't think the eyes are that bad, to be honest. His eyes are very sunken in the movie. Like, he's super old. He's got bags, bro. Dude's like 9,000 years old in the movie. Dude, he's
Yeah.
no. I don't dopo. I don't even think I pre-order. Like, most stuff that I've pre-ordered, I've canceled. Like, I'll put stuff on pre-order through like Big Bad Toy Store, like smaller statues or like, you know, like $100 pieces where there's no NRD, just so I can cancel if I need to. There was some stuff that was dropping early that it's Christmas, like I'm buying gifts for everyone. I pull out of those and I didn't lose any money, but you know, the dopo thing, and then you cancel, like, I know people that have spent hundreds, if not probably thousands of dollars from day one pre-ordering, and then, you know, a year later they're like, I don't really need that random one scene trooper anymore. So now I don't dopo.
Yeah. So guys, those are some really good thoughts on that. I got one more question for everyone because I want to give Aux Daddy a chance to answer another question too. So we're gonna do one more as long as everyone's good with that. Do you guys have time to keep the fun rolling?
Sure.
Okay, let's do it, bro. This is gonna be fun. Okay, so we got 2 different ones. I'm gonna give you guys the choice here of what you want to tackle. So this is like almost like a game show at this point. First one, we could do how much does price influence our perception of a product's quality or value, or we could save that one. We could do what are the byproducts of competition. Do you guys have a preference?
Ooh.
I like the first one.
Like the first one?
I kind of like the first one, if I'm being
Okay.
honest.
So let's do the first one. Okay. So let's start with, let's just roll the dice here. Mario, you're the sexiest man. We got to go with you first.
What the fuck?
Sorry, Zach. You got to grow that beard
Zach,
out,
it is
bro.
what it is, bro.
Get to that beard.
You're not
though.
wrong. You're not wrong.
Get on the beard game.
You got to
Little
stroke
bit of
the
a soul patch right now.
So equal sex appeal from the whole panel. Mario, how do you feel about this? Like, so the way I'll phrase the question is this: like, the price does matter. It's a big influence on how we view a product, like what we're expecting, right? Like a J&D, we're expecting it to be like 95% there or 100%. But if we get, say, a 3.0, which is still good but cheaper, or say a Hasbro, right? We're expecting a lot less. So how much does price bake into how much you perceive about a statue? Like the Joker, for example. Optical said it. If that Joker was $700, we'd be talking about it a lot differently, right? If we knew what we were getting as a $700 statue, but it's $1,500, so it's a different conversation. So how much does that factor into your formula of judgment?
Oh, dude, I think it's 100% a factor, man. I mean, it's kind of weird because there's some pieces that come out, in my opinion, that it's going to sound weird, that I think I'd be happy to pay even more than what it's actually worth. Case in point, I'm gonna say it again: the Damn Toys Godfather I just received. I would have easily paid like $400 for that thing, and for the fact that it's $250, dude, that's awesome. But to the same effect with the Prime 1 Joker that we just saw, that should have been like maybe like $1,200, probably at the most. You know what I mean? But yeah, it definitely does influence the perception. And I don't know why I'm thinking about that. I can't get that Joker out of my head because that's like the main. That's like the main example.
You're gonna have nightmares.
Like you said, yeah, pretty much, dude. Yeah, I mean, there's so many different variables that that are out there where you can
it's
that really can influence your decision. Yeah,
absolutely. And price is just a big part of it for sure. So how do you feel about this, Zach? How do you feel about the price discussion? Like, how big does it factor into your judgment?
That's a great question. I think, like I always see with statue people, they're all about the weight, right? Like, oh, this feels heavy. This feels like it has value.
Yeah.
But to me, that doesn't really, like, you're not dealing with a precious material. You're dealing with polystone, right? But you're not talking like gold versus lead, right? So I don't really get that, to be honest. And I kind of feel the same way about price. Like, there's statues that hit the market and they're $500-$600 quarter scale statues, and I think they look fantastic. And there's statues that are $1,000 and $1,400 for the same scale, but to me that doesn't really mean anything. Like, you can buy a $25,000 Honda and it's probably going to be a better car than like $100,000 Lambo, like purely as a car, reliability, quality, QC stuff. So I don't really think so. Like, I almost had that feeling, like going back to that Batman when it was, I think it retails like $650, and I called Sideshow. I'm like, I don't understand why the statue is $650. Like, it's quarter scale, it's Prime 1. Like, is it vinyl? Like, why is it so cheap? And they didn't really have an answer, but it is like an actual Prime 1 quarter scale for $650. But it did kind of raise a red flag. Like, why is this piece so cheap? So I guess maybe in a way it, like, subliminally I did have that thought. But no, I mean, there's Hot Toys that come out that were, like $400 or $500 like Carnage. And then there's Hot Toys that are $280 that frankly blow them out of the water. So no, I don't really think I perceive the quality any different. I just think, some things are maybe more expensive to make than others, and that's what goes into it, or licenses are more expensive. The 3.0 Rangers, like, I don't think they're blowing anyone away in terms of the quality, but I mean, those are licensed, iconic, nostalgic pieces that are retail for like $100 for a figure. That's far cheaper than most third parties. So, I don't think so. I've seen some really impressive stuff that's really cheap, and I've seen some really lackluster stuff that's really expensive. So
yeah, in
terms of quality and price, I don't really correlate the two, to be honest.
Gotcha. What do you think, Leo? How do you approach this? Oh, Leo, I think you're muted. Hold on. You might be. Oh, there we go.
That was me.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, because I farted a couple of times. I just want to make sure.
Probably smells awful down there.
But
it's loud and proud.
Yeah, I can't.
Silent but deadly.
I gotta have my mic muted because I make music over here with the cheeks.
Oh shit.
So
cheeks.
It's from the clapping.
Seriously, like, I was joking, but seriously, I mean, when it comes to the price, man. She know what time it is. She know what time it is. But no, when it comes to the price, I mean, the thing is, it's like we've had this discussion, and I think it is worth having because it's out there. Like when we talk about like some of these third party figures, like Mario said, you know, again, I can't stress it enough. This figure right here, I would have paid more for it.
The green meanie.
Yeah, I would have definitely paid more for this figure because it's fabulous. It's spectacular. Like this, it's just everything that I want from this figure I would have got, and I don't have a problem with basically paying more for it, because it's quality. Whereas I've paid, you know, certain prices for, you know, a Hot Toys figure that didn't live up to that price. And what I mean is it's not even looking at the actual head sculpt. I'm talking about even like how delicate some of those pieces are. I've had pieces break off. I've had, you know, figures that I've gotten that the padding has actually come off of the actual figure. You know, sometimes the magnetic piece, it comes off. You have to glue the other side of the magnet just to make certain things stick. That's what happened to my Batman Beyond. The mask, it came off and the magnet was on that piece. I had to get it out and glue it so it would stick. Why do I have to pay money just to pay more money to fix certain figures? You know what I mean? Like that really doesn't really add up. And that's the problem that I actually have with a lot of this is because we're paying these prices and we're not getting the quality that in most cases we should have. You know what I mean? Whereas with third party figures, yes, I'm paying less, but it's a safe zone and I'm getting quality. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm getting what I deem quality for me because it's my expectation that I set for that figure. You know what I mean? So it doesn't hurt me by far at all. And plus, you know, I mix and match, you know, sideshow figures, Hot Toys figures, you know, third party figures. I mix and match just to kind of, you know, if it fits well within that IP. But again, I mean, you got to watch it because it's like a gamble with us. We're kind of playing Russian roulette with money sometimes because you never know what you pay for, if what you're paying for you're going to get back in return. You know what I mean? So it's tough. As much as I want to give, you know, and I have over the years, like we continue to put faith because, I mean, come on, man. We already know that Hot Toys is at the top end. So, you know what I mean? When they produce these figures, you know, we fall in love with it because we know what they're capable of. It's just that we kind of waited out until that prototype drops to find out whether or not, you know, it's, you know, what it is. On top of that, they set very unreasonable release dates, and it always exceeds that. You know, it never comes on time. So that also influences, you know, whether or not you choose to pay for these things or not, you know, first go, or if you want to. Because the thing is, it's like it seems like, and it happens a lot, the longer the release, the longer the delay, a lot of people are saying, you know what, F it, I'm not going to pay for it. I don't want it anymore. So they'll get a refund on it. And that's hurt. That it not only hurt Sideshow, but it's also hurt, you know, Hot Toys as well, because they're like, damn, like we're seeing, you know, a lot of these things drop. And I'm pretty sure like what they've said that our you know, pre-orders, our NRDs helps towards the production of these figures. You know what I mean? It helps to kind of, I guess, get them out there or whatever. In most cases, I mean, what happens when, you know, just keeps happening, you know, whereas we just lose. I think it all boils down to the simple fact that we lose faith, bro. Like a lot of collectors are starting to lose faith, you know, in these companies. And it may not even be in the companies. I want to rephrase that. We're losing faith in the distributors, bro. I'm losing faith in distributors. I'll just say that. I mean, I'm losing a lot of faith in the distributors because I'm not getting the quality of service that I think, you know, we should have as customers. You know what I mean? They always say, look, the customer in most cases is always right. I'm not saying that that's always the truth, but if I'm spending that money, I felt as though I was right at that time, and I put my faith in you, and it just didn't happen. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. But again, that's just my piece when it comes to it, bro.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, Dean, how do you feel about this? Dean, is Dean there?
Yeah,
there
sorry.
Okay.
I have two monitors.
Dean's looking at porn,
sometimes
clearly.
Wow. How did you know that?
Oh, because I know you. You're my brother. I know what you do.
Yeah, so I feel like, especially when it comes to like maybe like I hate to keep bringing up Darkside Anakin.
That's a good example.
But like that is objectively, I think, whether it's Darkside or regular Anakin, I think that's one of Hot Toys' best releases ever. I think that figure is so well done. And when it sold out, I mean, you can't touch that figure for what? Less than
600-700, yeah.
600-700,
yeah. For the
I think I saw
dark
one
side.
the other day sell for like 8 or 9. It was.
I sold mine for
fucking
$750.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm super butthurt
And-
about that figure, man.
I know. We'll get a reissue though. A remake. We'll get it.
Yeah, and I think like people see that and think like, I think, in fact, I think we had a really long discussion on the channel, Zach, if you remember, because some guy wanted to buy one, and it was sealed, and it was like, well, if you think the figure is worth $900, which it's not, I think you should not expect the seller to open it and lose said value on the product because you're willing to spend the $900 because in your head you perceive it to be this fucking, I don't know, like an actual holy grail. And I think that sometimes that can lead to like huge disappointment. And I try really hard not to let price influence like the way I think about something. An example, I got into collecting Macross figures really late. And the Chogokin VF1J was like long sold out. It since has been reissued, which kind of sucks, but it was like $400, and I'm like, I love this thing more than I know what this is worth, so I'm willing to pay the $400. And I don't regret it, but I could see how maybe somebody would, that they have this like I don't even know how to describe it, like this blind, like, oh, this Anakin is selling for 900. It's probably the fucking, it probably walks and talks, and then they get out of the box and they're like, oh, this is like nice, but it's not $900 nice. So I'm kind of getting lost in my thoughts here.
It's all that porn, dude, because you're distracted.
What a dingus.
What a dingus. Yeah,
What a dingus.
I try not to let it bother me too much.
Yeah.
Like poor John, he's not here to defend himself. But he always gets hung up on the reissues. And I'm like, but John, he doesn't sell. So it's like, so what do you really care if your figure is now worth $300 instead of $800? You're not selling it anyway. So why do you care that this thing's being reissued? Well, the value goes down. It's like, yeah, but it doesn't matter because you're not going to sell it anyway.
Right. Or unbox it.
or unbox it. Like, especially with like Hot Toys, they're not like technically sealed, you know, like other than like the tape on the box. They're just kind of, the box slides open.
I'll tell you guys
like,
about that.
They're not, so like whether you open it to inspect it, it's still open.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know why some collectors like really emphasize the value. It's like, hey man, if you love this thing, just love it.
Yeah.
If you bought that fucking ugly ass Joker and you think it's the fucking shit, hey man, good for you. I don't have to think that, and I don't pay your bills. Who gives a shit what I think? You know what I mean? Like, love that Joker until the fucking cows come home. Like, good for you. I'm happy for you. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't spend any money on it. You know, just love what you collect and collect what you love.
There you go. Optical. Finish out the thoughts here. What do you think with this topic?
All right. So as far as like used or you know, pre-owned, whatever, the value goes out the window because it's how much it's worth to you, right? Like if that thing is worth to you that much, then I can't argue with that. But when it comes to MSRP, like new products that we do have, the price influence everything, not just in collectibles, but in life in general. The more expensive the item is, the more you expect out of it. Everything. The more expensive the headphones, the more clarity that you expect from the sound. The higher the draft pick is, you expect those guys to carry your franchise instead of like, no, every once in a while. Now, if it's lower and it's good, then that's different. You'll be like, great, I got a lower one. I got a Tom Brady for 6th round and he became the GOAT. Or kind of like
What
in
a
figures,
legend,
like,
bro.
Kind of like on figures, you get like, oh, I got that, let's say Michael figure from, I don't know, Present Toys for 130 and it came out really good. So that's different. Like lower expectations, better results is always better. But in reality, price affects everything. Like the perfect example of that Joker, that Michael right there. It's 130. When it goes the opposite way, it is beautiful. When it's cheap and it turned out great, no, you wouldn't hear a complaint.
Right.
But there's a reason why we make fun of Neon Tech Iron Man, because they're not worth what they're asking for. It doesn't mean that they're bad looking figures. Maybe they are to some people. But imagine they're asking $300-$400 for those things. They're not horrible looking figures. But if they're 150, I'm sure people are going to buy that. There's always a market for that. But this is where the price affects everything. Like if that Joker, it's not the worst Joker I've seen. If that Joker was $400 or $500, like a sideshow piece, that we wouldn't have this much expectations. Like that JND, if that goes a little bit off, like what they promised, I think people could, has the reason to, put their arms up. It's like, dude, I just paid $2,000.
Right.
Why would this be, like anything less than what I paid for? Because they could be like, hey, we worked hard for this statue. Hey, but hey, you worked hard for your money as well. So you get what you paid for, supposedly. That the higher you paid, the higher the expectation is. And that goes on for all walks of life. You buy a $100,000 car, you're expecting that to drive you to your destination without holding the without putting your foot on the pedal or something.
Like if
that.
I pay for Harvard, I'm expecting a better education than I'd get at the local college, right? Yeah,
exactly.
That's a great analogy, and the draft pick thing is also great. If I'm picking number one overall, I expect Trevor Lawrence to be better than the 4th round quarterback, right? So, yeah, absolutely. So. Really good thoughts, guys. Seriously. As we wrap things up, let's hit everyone. And the good thing is we have 3 Collecting Weekly members, so we can hit all of them at once. So I'll let you guys go. I don't know who wants. I don't know who. I love it. I love you guys equally, though. You're all 3, sexy and not single, all of you, but maybe one day.
Ready to mingle, though.
Yeah, still ready to mingle. Absolutely. So, guys, what's coming up on Collecting Weekly? Can you guys fill me in? Or other things you're doing individually if you want to do that? It doesn't matter to me who wants to do it. Whoever wants to be the spokesperson, go for it.
Take it away, Zach.
So Tuesday, by the way, shout out to all you angels for helping promote this. Tuesday, we have the Collecting Weekly Awards. It's our 4th year doing it. And I can't comment on your thing, but maybe I could put a link in private chat. Maybe you could post it.
I'd banned you, that's why.
Oh,
no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we're doing the awards on Tuesday. It's the best figures and companies that were nominated by our listeners. If you vote before Monday night, you're entered for a chance to win a $100 gift card to an online store that you shop at. And it's gonna be fun. Basically, it's like just like voting. Like whoever gets the most votes will win. And I think it's gonna be pretty fun. And it's usually kind of like a nice way for us to end cap the year and kind of go over everything that came out and the figures that our listeners nominated. So
I shared the link for you, Zach. So it should be posted.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
So I posted for you guys. There is the vote there for the Collecting Weekly Awards, right? Isn't that what it is?
Yeah. It only takes like a minute or 2 to vote, and you can put your email if you want to be entered for the drawing, and we'll draw that live on Tuesday.
I voted on it, so if I win, people are going to call conspiracy. But
I know, right? I should delete your entries.
I just delete it now. So, Leo, what's coming up with you, man? Fill us in. I know we got Spidey this Thursday, so I don't know if you're going to be streaming or not. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, Spidey's this Thursday. I'm not going to be streaming on Wednesday at all this week because I'm trying to stay away from any type of damn spoiler, bro. Like, straight up, like, it's just going to get serious after Tuesday.
Take the week off.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
From
so
the internet.
tomorrow it's just comic book talk with friends. We're going to discuss episode 4 of Hawkeye and also our predictions, for No Way Home. So it's not going to be, too much. And then the following Sunday, it'll just be Take Your Position, where we basically, I don't know what Iron Logan's going to choose. Today we did Spider-Man, so that was fun. And yeah. After that, it'd be, I guess, back to normal schedule. With Say What on Wednesday, and then I think we're supposed to be doing Uncivilized Scoundrels that week as well. Mario, am I correct? Yeah, the 20th.
Yeah, next week.
Yeah, so we're gonna do that next week, and yeah, that's mainly it. So if you haven't already, subscribe to the 1/6 Scale Man YouTube channel as well as Instagram and Twitter. And yeah, man, I mean, hopefully that we get that going, man. But yeah, after tomorrow, yeah, I'm definitely take a week off because I am not trying to be spoiled over this shit, bro.
Exactly,
I want this shit to
bro.
be an event. I do not want to be spoiled. I will suggest everybody out in the chat, if you were watching, actually go see West Side Story. It's dope. Love it.
I want to see it for sure.
Yeah.
So, Obstacle, what's coming up with you, man? Other than dioramas.
More dioramas.
More dioramas. Just your diorama 20 now.
I'm like a crazy cat lady now, but I'm the crazy diorama guy. No, I really do have 2 more dioramas.
So, do you really? They're coming up. Oh my god.
I just got sucked into it. But yeah, I got a few more. Hey, you know what, Will? Not gonna lie. If you see content creators pumping out content right now, it's the goddamn CPM is high. So
be on the lookout for more videos.
you see us all, taking a break in January because we got burned out doing it on December. So.
Right, exactly.
So yeah, I have let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 8 lined up currently. 3 of them dioramas. The other one's Iron Studios and the things that I got from that pile of loot from Big Bad. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot.
Maybe the Mondo weed man.
Maybe the Mondo man thing.
I don't know what it was, but yeah. So other than that, guys, thanks so much for joining. Seriously, thanks so much in the chat, guys. You were amazing tonight. Thanks as always for stopping in. Of course, thank you to my amazing panel. You guys were seriously incredible as always. Aux Daddy even graces with his presence. I did not expect that.
Thanks for inviting me.
I didn't
Nah,
either.
he just
It was like an
on.
M. Night Shyamalan level twist.
Nah,
seriously.
he
I was
heard
at the
my
game and I was like, yo, how long are you going to be on for?
Yeah, I was like, well, hurry back, Aux Daddy. We're here.
Nah, he heard my levels, bro. He heard my
Oh,
levels.
he heard the
I
levels.
heard,
he
I
had to
heard the
give you.
echo. I was dying inside.
He heard my levels.
He
He's
was
like,
trying to
yeah.
do him like this.
He came in, so you mind me. I went muted and I started fixing my shit real quick.
That's why you got
There you
muted.
go.
I was like, fuck. Let me
Yep,
start
you
fixing
knew you
my
fucked
shit.
up once Aux
Let
Daddy
me get my
came
shit.
in.
Let me get my shit together. Like, fuck. I can just
Yeah.
hear it.
But guys, thanks so much for joining another episode of Collectors Mingle. That's a wrap. Another episode in the books. Catch us next week on Sunday. We're gonna wait. We'll probably talk Spidey spoilers next Sunday or something. And do it that way. But seriously, guys, thank you so much for joining. That is a wrap for this episode. We will catch you in the next one.